Hey and hello there everyone, welcome, and if it's your birthday, happy birthday, which is a point I will get to in a second because today is a very special someone's birthday, but no, I do apologize. Oh, why the heck? Oh, hang on, I need to, my left Joy-Con is not, there we go, connected. There we go. Sorry, I think my OBS might have updated or something's happened. I basically can't see, the, basically if we get any Wonga, I'm not going to be able to see it on my OBS. So if basically if in chat there's any Wonga, just like mods, let me know if I don't see it. Kind of like if I don't see it, I might see it because I put like the dollar signs in and all that stuff. But if I don't see it, if anyone does do Wonga and I miss it, like if it kind of scrolls past a bit and you're like, hey Beau, did you see the Wonga? Because when we shiny hunt, we do tend to miss these things. However, so there are two things. One, it's a very special someone's birthday today. We'll get to that. But thing number two, I need your help. And when I say I need your help, I mean we need your help. And when I say we need your help, I mean we need to help Michelle. Because currently in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, there is the Empoleon 5-star raid event. Now, I was able to solo this. I got lucky with like my computer partners and stuff. I soloed it first time with a Pokemon that has become very reliable for raiding, which is Magearna. But Michelle doesn't really have a Pokemon that's like, say, super duper sort of suited to this Empoleon. So I was like, oh, well, I soloed it. I'm sure I can help you. But then we had like horrendous luck with poor computer partner Pokemon and like critical hits and stuff. And so I'm just wondering whether we could, before we get into the shiny hunting, if we could quickly help Michelle just get an Empoleon. Basically, I need two of my lovely audience members. If you are good at raiding, okay? If you're just like, yeah, I've beaten the main game, like, I'm sorry to say, that's not good enough. These raids are very, very tough. Sorry to be blunt like that. But basically, but like the 5 and 6 and 7-star raids are very, very tough. And this Empoleon one, I think this Empoleon one should be easy, but just you need the right like setup and stuff. And if you don't have good partners, it all just goes to pot very, very quickly. So basically, Okie Dokie doesn't really like resist anything. It maybe could work. But yeah, so basically, is there anyone in chat? I know Kevin's probably one. Oh, yes, Kevin. So that was actually the thing that me and Michelle were saying. It was like, it'd be really good if we had someone with Sunny Day. And I actually said that Walking Wake would be a very good Pokemon. So even if we just have like Kevin and one computer, maybe that could work. But the thing is, so basically, here's the issue with this Empoleon, right? I'll just sort of quickly explain why this Empoleon is a nightmare. This Empoleon is a nightmare because it has an ability called Competitive, which is similar to the ability Defiant, in that basically if you get a stat lowered, it then, so the ability Defiant, when any of your stats are lowered, you get two boosts in your attack. So it's basically like if someone uses like Sand Attack on you to lower your accuracy, it's like you get a free Swords Dance, right? If they use Leer to lower your defense, you use a Swords Dance. If someone uses Intimidate to lower your attack, you then essentially are like using a Swords Dance and more than nullifying it. And Empoleon has an ability called Competitive, which is the special attacking equivalent of this. So the problem is that a bunch of the computer allies have Intimidate, so it means that like right from the get-go, and every time that they faint, they just use Intimidate again and re-trigger Empoleon's ability. So Davon, we've only just started, so I haven't caught any shinies so far. We're just doing the introduction so far. So basically, you kind of need to have the right partners, and you got to have things that kind of like resist its moves and can set things up. So basically, Michelle's got an Empoleon. Michelle's got an Empoleon which can tank hits and stuff like. Well, actually, no. You've actually Michelle's got another Pokemon now, which might be a bit better. But yeah. But that's the thing. If Kevin could bring that Walking Wake and use Sunny Day on turn 1, I have Light Screen, and then Michelle. I mean, either you could bring your Empoleon still, or you could bring in your new Pokemon. Your yeah, that's the thing. You have Walking Wake too, so you could bring Walking Wake too. So those are the two. Skeledirge could be interesting because of the unaware thing, but basically, is there a fourth person who can help us out? I don't, because I forgive me if I missed chat. Tenchi may be able to help out. I'll say hi to everyone in a minute, but is there anyone who could very, very quickly help out with this raid? Because we don't really want to have any computer players if we can avoid it. So yeah. So let me know in the chat if you wanna. It looks like maybe Tenchi could be our fourth, but is there anyone else like better than an Ogie Dogie? But yeah, but basically, we don't want to lower the Empoleon's stats, okay? The only person who may inadvertently do that is me, because I have Flash Cannon, but, you know, like, it's one of the best moves we've got and stuff like that. So yeah. Okay, so we're going to set this up. So at the minute, so we've got Kevin, Tenchi, Michelle, and me. And yes, I like how my trainer is waving and giving a thumbs up and everything as well. Okay. So, oh, hang on. No, what am I doing? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up this raid, and then you guys are gonna add my code, okay? Because this is like the easiest and quickest thing. So I'm gonna go. Hang on a minute. How do I want to do this? Challenge as a group, and then, okay, invite friends with link code. So in about 10 seconds, you're going to see a link code. Hopefully this works, but get ready. So the link code is, I'll put it in chat as well. So it's 8V4K03. There we go. So that is the code. So definitely make sure Michelle gets in, because that's the whole point of this. But basically, Magearna is good. Magearna is a really good Pokemon because its ability is where every time you have a partner Pokemon that's knocked out, you get stronger and stronger and stronger kind of thing. So it's really good for soloing because the computer players get knocked out all the time. But that's not as good when you are... but that's not as useful when you're playing with human players, because when you're playing with human players, you don't want anyone to faint, which is why Magearna actually won't be as good for this, but it still will be helpful. But basically, so Kevin, if you would be able to Sunny Day on turn 1, and then if you're able to Sunny Day on turn 1, Michelle, if you just, I don't know, use Torch Song, and if I... hopefully the unaware doesn't affect my Magearna. And then I will set up light screen on team 1, and then whatever. But so Tenchi, we're just waiting for you. I'll give you a minute until there's about 30 seconds left, and then we'll just get going here. But yeah. So yeah, Michelle, you can just like attack right away. And Kevin will be better to set up the Sunny Day because Walking Wake is a faster Pokemon, I believe, or it should be faster than Empoleon. So yeah, I think that should work. I think if we have the Sunny Day, if you just start using Torch Song, and be on standby for like cheers and stuff, okay? Yeah, I think Unaware is just for opponents stuff. I don't think it's like, say, Weezing's neutralizing gas, which like affects everyone on both sides. So, so Tenchi, you got like 20 seconds or so. Well, I mean, I can leave it until the time runs out, but So it's 8V4K03. So 8V4K03. Sorry, I haven't said it out loud at all. But I think it's because people joined in so quickly, I kind of forgot. So we'll get into the shiny hunting soon, but we'll just see. Otherwise, we'll just have to hope and beg and pray that we don't get an Intimidate Pokemon. If we get an Intimidate Pokemon, then this will be very, very fun. But if we do get a computer partner who keeps fainting, at least they will power up my Magearna, which is good. So that's something at least. Okay, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna start. Sorry, Tenchi, but help has arrived in the form of a computer. Fingers crossed that they don't have Intimidate. Okay, chat. So I am sorry we're starting off a bit differently today. I do apologize as well because I said that this week, like, oh, I'm going to research what Pokemon I have left over and stuff like that. And not only have I been disorganized getting the stream set up this morning, but I've... Oh, no, it's the Tauros. It's Tauros. I know the girl who looks like Jade Dennis has the Tauros. I knew immediately. No. No. And we can't quit this either. We have to, like, do this now, which just really sucks. So, okay, well, wish us luck. This is going to be tough. Right, Blizzard. Yep, whatever. Well, there's Tauros down. Special attack boost. Oh, and there we go. Like, Intimidate again. Lovely. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The sarcasm detector is going off the rails. Yeah, see, look, we've lost already. We have lost already. Yeah, the girl called Kylie, who looks like Jade, she has Tauros. As soon as I saw her, I know for a fact she has Tauros. Yeah, that sucks. That really sucks. We've lost already. Tenchi, if you can sort of get ready again so that you're ready immediately after this, that would help, and then we don't have to worry about the computer player or whatever. But yeah, oh well. Of all the computer, there are 3. It's really annoying because there are 3 computer partners, 3, who can have. See, like, not very effective hit. Oh, actually, oh, is Steel not? Oh, I thought Steel was not very effective against Steel. Okay, well, that's new. Yeah, this sucks. Would Miraidon or Koraidon be better than Okidogi? Neither, because they're weak to Ice Beam. Just bring the Okidogi as you said you would, and then we'll be good. Right, I'm going to use a Calm Mind, even though this is probably very futile and pointless. But see, can you see how the timer keeps jumping down every time one of the human players gets KO'd? So that even though we've only been going for like 1 minute, there's only like a quarter of the time left on the timer. So yeah. But see, and then the special defense fell because of my flash cannon. Which I know is annoying, but it's like... But it's fine, as long as there isn't a Tauros constantly boosting its special attack. You could always bring your Empoleon and then just use Haze if things get a bit crazy, but... Right, okay. So that's the end of the raid. That was terrible. Yeah, that all sounds really good, Tenchi. So we're gonna we'll get back in there with a new, so there'll be a new code in a minute. I'll put the new code in the chat. But yeah. Okay. So that's a good demonstration of like how, because in a second we'll probably do this and it'll probably be quite easy and quite nice and quite fun and lovely. But that's why it can go wrong. If you get the Tauros, it's an instant loss. If you get like the Tauros, Arcanine, or Staraptor, it's just like an instant loss. So right, okay, invite friends with link code. So the code is 3P9. QQS. Okay, so that's 3P9 QQS. 3P9 QQS. Okay. So hopefully everyone will get into this quickly and stuff, and then we'll... Whose bullheaded decision was it to bring Taurus? I know. Jade! No, it's okay. Okay, so... And then we'll get into the shiny hunting. I promise. I can actually get things ready on my phone. And then... Because I want Michelle to get this Empoleon. Like, right, Tenchi, we're just waiting for you. And then we will... we'll be ready to do this thing. Yeah, so I'm just dilly-dallying on my phone. Shiny sandwich, and then I'll get my... Because, I mean, you've got this Okie Dokie ready, right, Tenchi? I mean, okay. Okay, good. Because if you were, like, building it, I was like, no. When I sort of said, like, oh, is anyone able to help? I meant, like, they need to be, like, ready, because we can't spend, like, we won't spend the whole stream doing this, don't worry. But, so this should be good. Okie Dokie can probably, like, get off some poison and, you know, and other stuff, and then, yeah. Although, actually, hold on a minute. Like, we had those... surely the competitive shouldn't have made a difference because of the unaware. I'm very confused. If this doesn't work, like if Skeledirge ends up being a pain, then maybe switch to the Empoleon, but... Okay. Right, so... Yep. Snowscape, sure, whatever. Yep. No, you're good, Tenchi. You're absolutely good. I just wanted to make sure we weren't, like, on some sort of wrong wavelength there or anything like that. So that's what happens. So there we go. Right, light screen. Right, sunny day, light screen. There we go. And then Surf. Look, Surf's doing, like, nothing. Okay. Oh, I think it, like, only really knows attacking moves, so, like, Taunt isn't too much of an issue or a concern here. Right, okay, now it's using Flash Cannon. There we go. Thank you for the heal. Whoever healed. There we go. Lovely stuff. And then, okay, so I'm going to use Flash Cannon. Hopefully my Flash Cannon doesn't set off the competitive. Although in theory, in-game theory, that shouldn't make a difference because of the Skeledirge. But we'll see how this goes. Right, I am just using one Calm Mind here because it's probably going to nullify our stats and abilities and stuff in a second. Yeah, there we go. Okay. The annoying thing is, though, is if we do get a feint in a second... And I will leave you guys to do your own cheering. Like, oh, if you need health, that's down to you. Okay. Right, Calm Mind. Let's go. But no, this is work. Okay, so hopefully, though, we'll get a soul thingy-majig rise. Okay, there we go. That's fine. So as long as we don't have too much fainting, like, it's okay. It's not a problem. It's just if, like, everyone starts fainting, then we've got an issue. Right, okay, Flash Cannon! Boom, okay. I might use, like, another Calm Mind in a sec. Just because I'm not getting those Soul Heart boosts anymore, but that's okay. Because the point with beginner is that it gets stronger every time a partner faints, which when they're computers and you don't lose any time on the time limit, that's really good. But when you, but then when, you know, things are different, you know, we're playing things a bit differently today. Oh, I might need to use another light screen in a minute, mightn't I? I probably do. Oh, crud. Don't drop the stats, Magana. Right, hang on, I'll just check the... Okay, so there's no light screen up. I can put a light screen up. Okay, hopefully that'll help everyone just a little bit more. And then basically, look, see here, we're not really struggling too much or anything. Like, it's all good. It's all good in the hood. Everything's, you know, nice and smooth. As long as we don't get any annoying critical hits or anything, we shouldn't be in any trouble. It crit. Oh yeah, I did think, I was like, hang on, that did weird. But yeah, the annoying thing, I don't think these Pokemon have like a 1 in 24 critical hit chance. When me and Michelle did a couple of attempts earlier, I kept getting crit on like the second turn, like continuously. It was just the most frustrating thing ever. And I was like, it's a 1 in 24 chance. How does it keep hitting me after like 2 hits? You know, like it's just crazy. Okay, there we go. Right, come on. So this might come to... Okay, the shield's down, so this might come together very quickly now. Even though it's like, oh, we've only done like half of its health or whatever. But the thing is, if we... Now that the shield is down and my like special attack is up and everything, and we're all like terrored and everything, this should all... There we go, look, boom. It's just lost like a quarter. One more hit, and we should be done here. Okay, it's nullifying stat changes, abilities. That kind of sucks. But we are still all terrored and everything. Okay, that sucks. Oh, okay, that sucks. Flash cannon! Do it! There's a flamethrower, there's the flash cannon. Hey, there we go, we did it. Okay, whew! Empoleon special defense. Oh no! But no, that's it. We got it. See, and look, when you have a good team. Okay, I don't know why it's still attacking. That's just rude. There we go. You fainted. Like, it's the end. Well done, everyone. Thank you so much. So I've already, again, I beat this with computers because I had good computers and McGinn is good for computers who suck. But yeah, it just, but no, thank you all so much. I'm glad we were able to help Michelle. Thank you. And because Michelle chose Piplup in Brilliant Diamond and everything, so... that was one where was like, we should be able to beat this. It's just if we don't have sucky computer partners. So Tenchi and Kevin, thank you so much. Let's go hunt some shinies. The question is, what shinies do we hunt for? I like legit don't know. What are the like? Even what are the ones on the thumbnail that like, you know, like that we haven't got left? I've forgotten which ones we even like have on the thumbnail. There was one Pokemon on, where was it? There was something, hang on, Delibird, Flittle, or whatever it's called, Charcadet. Oh, do I have, I think I do have a shiny couple of those or something. I think I got 2 of them or something, and then, was there anything else I needed that was shiny? I felt like there was maybe something in like the Terranium that was shiny, that was like, oh, we could kind of shiny hunt for one of those, but I can't remember. There's Tepig and Doduo. No, I have those, so I don't need to worry about those. Okay, let's... Oh, and Vulpix. This would be a really good chance to get a Vulpix, but I've got a Vulpix, thank goodness. It's one of the toughest shinies I've ever gotten. Okay, shall we try... I'm not optimistic about this, but shall we try... Shall we try Blitzel? I know we've had bad luck with Blitzel and Zeb Striker in the past, but if I'm able to get one, then I'll be able to get another one via the like you can get one in the game kind of thing. If I battle like all the coaches and stuff like that. So I could, in theory, in-game theory, do that. So, but that's the thing. I feel like Blitzel, maybe Blitzel could be a good one. We had bad luck with Blitzel before. Maybe today is the day instead, or something, or nothing. I don't know anymore. I'm very confused. Okay, so, whoop. Oh, why is this laggy? Oh, hang on. I know one reason why it could be laggy. I am in online mode, so I'm going to turn the online off now. We're going to disconnect from the internet because it's very laggy. And then, yes. So, well, here's the thing. I kind of don't really want to revenge hunt the Blitzel, but I just don't really know. Blitzel's like one of the best things I have left. Like, in theory, it should be one of the easiest things. Speaking of Chanseys, because we keep seeing Chanseys, if you play Pokemon Go, tomorrow there is a Chansey Community Day, so if you want an easy Chansey and Blissey, get Pokemon Go on your phone and go out tomorrow between the hours of 2 PM and 5 PM and just tap on every Chansey you see, and you'll get a bunch of shinies, and then you can transfer them into your Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and it's all good stuff. So, but yeah, okay. Okay, there's a Blitzel, right. I should probably get out what Blitzel looks like on my phone, shouldn't I? I think it looks like a zebra. Okay, let's see. Sorry, that's a very dumb joke. Was that even a joke? I don't know. Okay, hang on, let's see. Joltik, Blitzel. Because it's kind of like bluish. In fact, actually, a funny thing that's really easy is, for a regular Blitzel, you can't really tell any difference between, like, its nose and its face. But on a shiny Blitzel, the nose is still black. So there's kind of, like, more of a difference between, like, its nose and its face. So maybe that's something to look out for. You're glad Shiny Chansey's easy to get now. No one should have to find one in the Safari Zone. Yeah, like, I can imagine poor people, like, doing the Safari Zone in, like, Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. That must have just been an absolute nightmare. Horrendous. Okay, so we've saved the game. We're making a sandwich. We didn't save the game 50 bajillion times, but we made a sandwich. And then, yeah. Right, so we're going to go with the old tomato, onion, green pepper, bell. We're going to go with the burger sandwich. But we're going to have... Should we do bitter? Because we're feeling a bit bitter about... the Blitzels. And just because... So, it's funny. There was this thing last year where... I'll try not to get too TMI with this. But I did have, like, a bit of a weird health thing last year. It was a bit annoying last year. I had, like, the German tea incident, and then I had this other thing I'm about to talk about. But I had this thing last year where, there was, like, one day I was in the shower, and then I just very suddenly kind of, like, had, like, a bit of a sort of, like, a belchy hiccup, kind of like a ooh kind of thing, like a weird sort of feeling in my chest. And then basically I had this weird feeling in my chest, you know, kind of like a sort of indigestion-y thing. It just sort of felt a bit like my chest was sort of being, like, pushed apart kind of thing. And then I was I just very kind of had this, like, indigestion-y sort of chest being pushed apart thing. And I sort of felt like I had a stomach ache, but, like, above my intestines or at, like, the top of my intestines or whatever. It was very, and it wasn't, like, painful, but it was just sort of, like, very uncomfortable kind of thing, and just, like, a very odd sensation. And I was just sort of feeling something constantly, or sort of repeatedly throughout the day. I had this weird feeling. And I think basically what kind of happened is I probably had some kind of, like, inflammation or irritation or something in, like, okay, sparkling encounter title, excellent. Okay, right, so let's look for Blitzers. So, but I think basically I had, so there's a Zeb Striker, and then Zeb Striker's more, like, easy to notice, right? Like, if I flick to Zeb Striker quickly, and then I just look at it, it's a similar thing with the nose, where it's kind of, like, red, but then the nose, so I think basically, as long as I look at, like, the noses, this would be easy to... I have faith. I have faith we're going to get this, because we've tried it before, but this time we're actually going to get it. So I had this weird thing, and I think basically it was just something where I'd had some kind of, like, irritation or inflammation. What had happened was, I think, like, the night before I had this sort of, like, the shower, this weird sensation in the shower, I'd eaten some, like, fizzy... sort of, like, gummy worm candies, and I think maybe I'd, like, eaten these things right before bed, and then I sort of, like, began to lie down, and then I was all, like, horizontal, and that was, like, not good for aiding the digestion of these things or whatever. But it was weird. I didn't, like, have too many other symptoms or any other weird, sort of, I like, sort of, all toilet stuff was fine. Again, sorry to TMI, but, like, all that was fine. But I just had this weird sort of sensation in, like, my chest and my stomach, and I'd sort of almost, I don't know, just kind of, I didn't really, like, hiccup, or I don't think I hiccuped or belched a whole lot or anything like that. It was just this weird sensation, and my stomach just sort of felt a bit more like acidic kind of thing. And although the feeling in my chest kind of eased up, and the feeling in my stomach kind of eased up and stuff like that, and everything else kind of was, like, normal, I still, like, kind of and I don't know how many months ago this was now, but I still feel like maybe I'm not quite right from that, and I don't really know quite what happened. But my stomach has always just felt a bit more acidic ever since. But I don't know if it's like my stomach actually is different, or whether it's just a thing where now I'm more aware of how my body feels, and so I'm like paying more attention, and now I'm kind of like, maybe I've like always had a bit of like an acidic stomach, and I've just never realized, like, you know. So, but it's a bit of a weird thing. Like, body stuff is weird, isn't it? When you start with like body stuff, mental health stuff, like I kind of said like last week and stuff, you know. Whenever you kind of have anything where like you're not good, physically or mentally, you start to like constantly question, like, kind of, am I okay? How am I doing? Sort of thing. Like, is this normal? Is this how I always feel? Is this how I always feel? Or is this, or do I feel different? I don't know. Like, I feel I've been different for so long. Is this the base level? Like, it's sort of just weird. And so this morning it's weird. Like, I like had no appetite this morning, and so I've like had no breakfast. So I might need to stop at some point to like get some food. I won't stop the stream, but I have a little like granola bar thing here. But I need to figure out different foods I can eat for like when I feel different levels of hunger and or laziness when cooking and stuff like that as well. I've kind of realized, like, again, sorry to sort of lay on some weird heavy stuff, but I don't know if anyone else, I don't know, has stuff about eating and food where, I don't know, there are just times where you don't want to cook, you don't want to eat, or there are certain foods you don't want, and it's just kind of hard to know what, like, you're interested in or what you're after and what's kind of, like, good for you, what your body's feeling and what you need, and I don't know, yeah. But so, like, but today, I just, like, really did not feel like having any breakfast, and so, and I know that's not good, but I just really didn't want breakfast today, because my stomach just feels unsettled today. Maybe it's some of that stomach stuff, maybe it's some of that anxiety that I've had recently, maybe it's stress, maybe it's something else, maybe, again, I've never really been much of like a sort of breakfast person. I always hated, I don't know if anyone else is like this, but like in school, I always hated, like when I was at school, I always hated like having to have breakfast, because like at like between like 7 and 8 in the morning, it's like I don't want breakfast like at 7 or 8 in the morning. Like if I'm waking up at like 7 o'clock and leaving school at like after 8, you know, at some point after 8 o'clock, like, you know, 8:15, 8:30 or something, like, just I don't want to like shovel down some food. I like don't feel hungry, and I always hated having to shovel down food early in the morning. So I don't know if anyone else is like that, but it was always like I always need to like be awake for, I don't know, like a couple of hours before I want food. And so today it's a bit odd because I'm sort of not especially hungry. But I also think I might be dehydrated. So again, there's just lots of stuff where, I don't know, lots of stuff you need to keep on track of and keep on top of and make sure you're doing. And I don't think this week I've like had a whole lot of water. Like normally I drink a lot of water, and I think this week I've kind of been weirdly lazy on it and stuff. I don't know. Like, sorry to get weirdly like sort of like, maybe I've got stuff wrong with me, maybe I don't know. But like, does anyone else find that relatable? I will check chat in a second. I actually wanted to get into the shiny hunt today, because, you know, just we started off with that raid, and then we ended up having 2 of them and stuff, and yeah. But oh well, thank you Kevin for the assist, and Tenchi, thank you for the assist. I'm glad that you were able to get an Empoleon as well, because you hadn't got one. So, but yeah, my Magearna, because of its ability, was able to solo it, and I didn't get any of the intimidate people, which was good. But sorry, I just bashed my remote, so I then sort of veered off there. But yeah, let's just check chat for a second and see how. Oh, I haven't said hi to people yet. Good golly gosh. So hi Kevin, and Tenchi, and then Lexi and Davon and Clown are up. Have you got shiny Slugma? I do, yes. I'll talk about that in a second. And hello Nightbot and Clowner. I have made a sparkling sandwich. I don't know if you joined after I made the sandwich, but don't worry, I do. Miss Wannykins and Zach and Xander and Nightbot again. And I felt like there was someone else. I feel like there's someone. Satella, hi. And an Illuminite high, and Lovecat Mew Mew high, and your girl Z Unique high. So I know I always say that in that way, but I like you know, if I ever need to say it a different way, let me know. So okay, and yeah, and Neo High, and yeah, okay, good. Forgive me if I missed anyone, and forgive me if I miss any Wonga or anything like that. So, yes. Okay, so let's get back into the shiny hunting. We've still got 25 minutes left on this sandwich, so let's see how this goes. I would run around on Koraidon, but again, I just feel like I need this slightly more zoomed in perspective so I can see these things. But we'll see. The long grass does not help, I won't lie. Okay. Come on, let's get a Blitzel. Oh, yes, a chat. Emojis. So, if you could put any zebras, lightning bolts, and sparkles in the chat, please, that would be hugely appreciated. Because as we know, putting emojis in the chat helps me get a shiny 100% of the time. Sometimes, and then that should all be good. I would just point out things like what I said just there. It is a bit annoying when people like. That for me was a really obvious joke. Like, that's the joke kind of thing. Like what I just said there about the 100% of the time sometimes, that's a joke. That's the joke. You know, those two things can't coexist. Sort of thing. But like, I think there are some people who maybe again don't understand jokes or don't understand that you are joking. You know, just to be clear, that is a joke. I'm not a stupid person who thinks that 100% of the time also equals sometimes. I have a maths degree. I know what 100% means. Okay, so let's okay, lots of zebras and there's an avocado. I guess that's also another thing millennials need to stop doing as well. They need to start having zebras on toast. Okay, so but let's see. But right. Are you shiny? Yes! I could see. I was like, that looks slightly blue. And it's because it is. Yes! Shiny, thank you for the emojis. I told you, they work. The emojis work, like, every time. Sometimes. Okay, so let's throw our quick ball. See, this was the annoying thing. When we didn't get Blitzel before, it was annoying because it's like, you know, this is an easy one. This is one where you should get it in like 10 minutes because they appear very frequently and it's, you know, it's easy enough to spot and everything. I mean, maybe we did miss one, but, you know, but still. Okay, thank you all for the emojis. But guys, we don't just want one Blitzel. We want one. We need another so we can evolve it. So spam those emojis again. Even if you put emojis in the chat a minute ago, they have been used up now. Their power has been all drained up. So we need more of those emojis now to get the second Blitzel, the second Mr. Irvin Blitzel. We need them. In fact, I'm going to have a congratulatory sip of water. And when I say sip of water, I mean 3 big glugs. Okay, so let's see. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 5 and 6 and 7 and more. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so let's see. Blitzel. It's the name you should know. Blitzel. He's the star of the show. Okay, sorry. That's always just so catchy. Okay, so let's see what we got here. I know I said I wasn't going to ride Koraidon, but I'll do that when I'm not near the Blitzels. Then once I actually get near them, I can inspect them more properly. Okay. Let's see. Zebstrika. So, see, that's the thing. Because we've got Shiny Blitzel, this is really cool as well, because now it doesn't matter whether we get Blitzel or Zebstrika, right? Like, if we'd have gotten a Zebstrika, it would be like, oh, crud, now we gotta just hope that, like, a Blitzel appears as well. Whereas now, we're in the lovely, very privileged position of, we're in a very privileged position where we can either get a Blitzel or a Zebstrika, and like it doesn't matter. So this is really cool. So, because like before, you know, I'm kind of like keeping an eye out for the Blitzels just that little bit more, whereas now it really doesn't matter as much whether I get the Blitzel or the Zebstrika. So let's just have a look at these guys. You all look normal to me. You look normal to me. And there we go. So I do have to start thinking, if we keep getting this good shiny luck, it does mean that I am going to run out of shinies to catch on stream. And it does mean I will need to think of something else to play. And if we do play something else, I need to think of what that is. And basically, like I said before, for sort of about like the next 2 months, I don't want to start anything like too big or too massive, because I've got like some plans and stuff like that, and I don't really, and the plans may mean I might not be able to stream for like a week or two or something, like in a couple of months. But then once I'm all done with that and I'm able to stream again, I think I will just begin the plan that I set in motion last year that I thought I was going to set in motion like in January. But then the strike happened and stuff, and then I set it back, and now I don't know what to do. Maybe we'll do that Luigi's Mansion 3 playthrough, who knows? But that could be fun, actually. But yeah, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, but that's the thing, if we keep getting good shiny luck, if you keep spamming emojis and we keep getting the luck of the Blitzel, then we should be good. We should be good. Okay, so hold on. You're not blue, are you? No. You're not blue, are you? No. Okay. Let's see. So, okay. So what else? But I do apologize that I've not really researched what point. I said last week, like, oh, this week I'll get a chance to you know, like look through and kind of plan out what we're gonna do this weekend, and then like I ended up having like a little bit of a busy week. Like, not like, when I say busy week, it wasn't like sort of, oh, I kept having to like leave the house all the time or anything, but it's just that like I kept kind of having stuff coming up, kind of interfering and sort of getting in the way of things, and I just didn't really sort of prioritize planning this stream over the other things I decided to do instead. So, hang on, you're not blue, are you? No. So I do apologize that I've still kind of not planned this week, but the fact that we've got one shiny already kind of shows that, like, it's fine, it doesn't matter too much. Yeah. So, we'll... Okay, you're not shiny, you're not shiny, you're not shiny. So, like, yeah. Oop. So, the other thing, what's the other thing? So I do apologize, but yeah, I ended up having, like, a sort of, like, last-minute session booked at one point this week, and then, and then just, like, other stuff I had to kind of do. And yeah, so it kind of just ended up, I just ended up not really planning the stream. The good news is, last week, it's funny, last week, we discovered that on Cerebi.net, that if you looked up Diglett and you looked up its location in the terrarium, there was, like, an issue. It only showed, like, Cantonian regular Diglett, rather than the Alolan Diglett. So if you looked up Diglett and you were like, where is Diglett in the Terranium? It didn't show anything because a Cantonian Diglett doesn't show up in the Terranium. So, actually, one thing we could do... I just had a thought. I just had a theory. A game theory. If I sprinted, that would make groups of 5 come up, right? Or not, I don't know. So there's a little cluster. That's the thing, if we sprint, we might get more, like, clusters of 5... Oh, 5 show up. But then you are also more likely to bump into things. So, what happens when you super chat? Oh, you'll have to find out. No, I'm kidding. No, when you super chat, basically, a little notification will kind of pop up on the, sort of the chat. Like, there will be an extra little thing that happens. And so basically I will kind of get like a notification that there's like a special message waiting, and then I will usually read out the message and stuff like that and tell you how much you super chatted for, and thank you profusely for the super chat. So it will have a little, so it'll sort of stand out differently in a couple of ways on the chat. If you super chat a small amount of money, it might not show up super duper well, or it might be a bit more sort of temporary. But if you do like a slightly bigger amount, when I say bigger, it's not too much bigger, but then you do actually get like a notification thing that hangs around. So like, if you do a super chat for $1, it will appear differently on the chat, but like there might not be a little notification thing that sits at the top of the chat. But if you say, I think if you do something like $5 or $10, there'll be a little marker that sits at the very top of the chat being like, oh hey, someone super chatted, and make sure you read it and stuff like that. So no pressure to anyone to ever super chat, don't worry, but it's just if you like a shout out, if you want to support what I do, then it's hugely appreciated. Again, it's been a difficult couple of years and stuff, so any sort of, you know, extra financial support I can get from YouTube is really cool. But it's not necessary. No one ever needs to do it. Like this, you know, this content is available publicly and for free for a reason. But that's the thing. If anyone ever wants to super chat, then that's really cool and I appreciate it. But there's never any pressure or obligation to do it. So that's my explanation on super chats, I guess. You're not shiny, are you? You're just kind of in the sunlight, yeah. You're not. Hang on. No, you're not shiny. Sorry, my eyes are starting to go. I'm starting to not be able to recognize colors. Okay. Oh, right. Now I need to crack my neck. And so, okay. How long do we have left? Okay, we have 12 minutes. So there's not loads of time. But if we could get a second one, this would be very cool. And then we could go to the Charged Stone Cavern and see if we could get a Joltik or something. Right, okay, Blitzo. Because it would be cool if I didn't have to do all the coaching stuff. That would be preferable. I won't lie. But we'll see how it goes. Hang on, I will just catch up on chat for a second. So, Beau, if you want to, can you name 2 random Pokemon? Out of all of them, or... out of like literally any Pokemon. Sorry, because unfortunately the ones that are coming in my head at the minute are just like terranium ones, like Smeargle and Growlithe or something like that. Well, Growlithe's not even in the terranium, I don't think, but there you go, Smeargle and Growlithe, there you go. But let's see, the raiding is slow going, no harbor. Yeah, Miss Wannykins, I don't know about you, I don't know where you're doing your raids, but I feel like if you do raids in Kitakami and the Terranium, you get more Harbor Mystica. I could just be wrong, but I could be wrong about that. But like I could be wrong about that. But I always felt like I got more in Kitakami and then also the Terranium, more so in Kitakami. I feel like, but I feel like I always got more doing raids in the DLC places than everywhere else. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Right. Okay. Lovely stuff. Right. Sorry. So hang on. We've got. Right. So we're done. Okay. 12 minutes. Okay. I wasn't sure whether we'd gone for like a whole other minute or two when I checked, but that's a dealing. That is not a Zeb Striker. We need to go more north, don't we? Let's see if a bit of sprinting helps here. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 and 2. Oh, there's a little one. Hey, little fella. And then, yeah, but that's the thing, because we are making it through the list. Like, although we've had some shiny hunts that have been very successful and some that have been profoundly unsuccessful, we are working our way through my list of, like, the shinies that I need. And yeah, just, yeah, in a few weeks we might come to a point where it's like, all these shinies are just better to hunt, like, off screen rather than, like, on a television. Because it is harder for me to you know, I only do certain shinies like on stream just because like they have to be like easy enough to see to warrant doing it on a television instead of in handheld mode. So yeah, okay. Right, let's sprint and see if we can get more Zebstrikers, Blitzers. Okay, here we go. Let's see if any of these are shiny. They all look the same to me. Plot point from Madagascar 2, as we discussed last week. Oh yeah, the Madagascar films, like, I don't know. We haven't, like, heard anything about them for a while, had we? Because they were sort of... They were kind of big and popular in, like, the late 2000s and then throughout, like, the 2010s. And then obviously we had things like the excellent Nickelodeon Penguins of Madagascar series. And then there was also the All Hail King Julian series on Netflix, which was good fun. But I don't think we've had anything from that franchise in a while, have we? So that's a bit of an interesting one. Hang on, you're not shiny, are you? No, okay. But I don't think we've had anything from that franchise in a few years, like since the All Hail, unless there's been like another King Julian thing that like I forgot about or something. Hang on, you're not... No. So, because it's interesting, because there are some franchises where like they do kind of come back or they keep doing something every couple of years, and I mean even like Megamind. I mean, a bunch of you this week may have seen that Megamind is sort of getting a sequel, although it's a bit of a weird thing because it's getting a sequel, but it's like it's going to be like a straight to streaming sequel, and then there's also going to be like a series as well, and yeah, and I don't think any of the returning voice cast are returning, which, you know, is a bit of a shame, but on the plus side, it does mean that the lovely Laura Post gets to be in the new series as Roxanne, which is really cool and exciting to see. So, but yeah, but that kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't know they were doing a Megamind thing. Forgive me if like that had been on the cards, or whether they're just kind of like announcing this very suddenly. But I had no idea they were like doing more Megamind. But Madagascar though, yeah, we haven't had Madagascar stuff for a while now, and it'd be interesting to see if and when we do get any more Madagascar stuff, if they try and like stretch it out, or whether they just be like, nah, like this series had its run and had its fun, and let's just leave it. Like, it's good, it's all good. So yeah, but I with that series, for anyone who has watched that series, how would you rank and rate the films? Because I actually felt like the films got better as they went. Like, I think I liked the third one the most, and then like the second one, and then like the first one. The first one's actually I feel like the first one's quite weird when you go back to it. Like, it's sort of, they don't actually even like get to Madagascar until like halfway through the film, which is like really odd. Like, I think it's one of those things where you only really notice it on like a rewatch or something like that, but you're like, wow, they actually spend like a lot of time in New York, and where like not a whole lot really happens, kind of thing. Like, if Madagascar's supposed to be like when the film kicks into gear, it's like, well, that's not until like halfway through the movie. Whereas, I don't know, the second one, I think the second one got to it a bit more quickly. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but and then the third one, I just remember the third one just being like a really fun movie, and I think I liked that they realized that there was more to life than New York. No offense to New York. But I think I liked that they kind of, you know, they realized that like they didn't necessarily have to go back to New York or whatever. But I can't remember what stuff they've done since. Maybe they do eventually go back to New York in some online streaming series that I have not watched yet, but that I've forgotten about or something. How long do we have left? Okay, 6 minutes. I'm going to check chat one more time just to see if anyone either loves Madagascar or is just like, oh my gosh, Beau, shut up. So we'll see. Hang on. Right, you're good, and then here we go. Madagascar is so dear to you, but you really enjoyed the second one. Second one's pretty good. One's an okay start, and then 3 was really fun and satisfying ending. But then, let's see. Might do a 2010s Godzilla rewatch soon. Remembered how much you loved the reveal of Mothra and King of the Monsters. Ooh. Hang on. Hang on. What did Kevin get? Oh, Shiny Charmander. Nice. Nightbot is a mod. Nightbot is already a mod. I love my mods, so I'm good with my mods. Let's see. Akira, hi, welcome. Lovely to see you. You're using Photoshop to fuse 2 Pokemon. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so maybe those won't be the craziest 2 Pokemon, but like hopefully doable or something. Okay. But my face is all over the internet. It's available in lots of places. But let's see. Yeah, the first is like decent enough. Like it's fine and fair enough. But I think it's just a bit. It's probably a bit like when you watch like I remember when I watched Thor, like the original Thor. And I remember being very impressed by it and thinking it was like very, very good. Because basically it took a character who I didn't really know anything about, who I didn't care about, and gave me like an enjoyable experience, you know? Like I had only really watched, like at that time, you know, when like the MCU was young and stuff like that, you know, it's kind of hard to remember comic book movies before the MCU, but like, it's kind of hard to remember, but like they only really did like sort of the biggest ones kind of thing. Like something had to kind of already be popular and like say have a cartoon series that had been successful before you make a movie about it, which is why we had like Spider-Man and X-Men, because they had successful cartoon series in the 90s. But like it's just this thing where but you know, the MCU was like, no, we're gonna like take heroes who've never really had a whole lot done and make you care about them. And the Thor movie was pretty good, but once you sort of, you know, we've had like a bunch of really like excellent films come along since Thor, and so a bunch of like MCU movies that were like, yeah, they were fine or whatever, or like, oh, they were good. Like now it's like, yeah, they're fine, or like, yeah, they're pretty good, but you know, I remember being like, oh yeah, Thor's like really good, and then it's like, no, it's like it's pretty good, but like but it's not like, oh my gosh, it's like one of the best movies ever, like one of the top movies in the MCU. And I feel like maybe the original Madagascar was a bit like that, where, you know, we hadn't had a whole lot of like 3D animated movies or just a lot of other, like, you know, a lot of like non-Disney Pixar animated movies at that point in time. And so, you know, Madagascar, like, it was quite fun, but yeah, when you like look back now, it like the first one, I think it is just sort of a bit like, again, it's got weird timing and like it's fine, but yeah, so but then I did see a comment about naming a Blitzer Chris Rock, but I don't have the stomach to do that, and not just because my stomach's a bit iffy today, but just because I'm not a big fan of Chris Rock. I don't know, like he just sort of, Like I sort of like used to like him a bunch and stuff, but then I don't know, he can just sort of be a bit much for me sometimes. And he also sort of somewhat famously or infamously, there was like that sort of comment he made like a decade ago. It was like really like, I just like scream into a microphone and they give me $1 million or whatever. You know, it's sort of just a bit. It's a bit like, well, yeah, that's like true for you, but that's because like you're already like a famous dude, you know. I'm not trying to take away from his talent or anything. Like Afro circus was like hilarious and whatever, and you know, and there are very few people who could sort of pull that off the way he can and stuff. So I'm not trying to take away from his talent or anything. But I'm just like not. I don't know. He's someone who I'm a bit more mixed on, so it's just kind of like if I'm gonna name any of my Pokemon after like famous people or something like that, like Chris Rock isn't like at like the top of my list exactly, just because, you know, he trashed my industry, man. No, it's not quite like that, but I did see like a clip of Everybody Hates Chris recently, and I did really enjoy that show. I can't remember how much of it I watched, but that was a good show. I liked that show, and it introduced the world to Terry Crews, who then went on to be in like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and was just like he was one of the real standouts from Everybody Hates Chris, if not like the big standout. And then also wasn't his name Tyler James Williams, who's in Abbott Elementary? I've never seen Abbott Elementary, but I've heard it's good, and like hasn't he like won Emmys for that show and stuff? So. So, you know, yeah, that Everybody Hates Chris kind of platformed a couple of people. It also had Vincent Martello, who's Phineas and Ferb, as well. So, yeah, lots of people, lots of fun stuff. But yeah, I liked that. I did like that show. So again, I don't like hate Chris Rock or anything, but like he can just be a bit much of me at times and stuff, and he trashed my industry. You're not shiny, are you? I'm just trying to. I should have used my Meowscarada more to really tell these things apart. Okay, 1 minute left. Chat. Last burst emojis. Last burst of emojis. Right, come on. Shiny. It's a name you should know. Are any of these shiny? I actually can't tell. No, they're not. Okay, let's go. Oh no, I need to. Oh no. Unless this is shiny. Wait, that was hang on. What do you mean something was shiny, Kevin? Kevin, don't mess with me, Kevin. Don't mess with me, Kevin. You can't just put that was shiny when we're on like a 10-second delay and stuff. Okay, hang on. I don't see any shinies there. I shouldn't have been riding on Koraidon. But now I'm going to be riding on Koraidon again. I saw blue in its ears and I thought it made it shiny. I mean, maybe. I actually don't know what the ears or the inside of the ears looks like, actually. I know the eyes are green. The easiest way to tell is by looking at the nose, I would say. Just because you could sort of see... Oh, no, Tauros. Oh, no, that's it. That's time up. That was a quick minute. That was a very quick minute. Okay, so we got the Blitzel. You remember Chris's friend in the show was played by the same actor who voiced Hope in Final Fantasy 18. Oh, so Vincent Martello is in Final Fantasy as well. Nice. Nice, I like it. Yeah, and sorry, I'm just reading Xander's comment, doing the Afro Circus song. It's very funny. But yes, okay. So, reading the book version of the first Madagascar movie, I didn't even know that. Oh, Akira, didn't realize there were more Madagascar movies. Remember liking the first one when it came out? Yeah, so there was the first one where, yeah, there are a bunch of like New York zoo animals who go to Africa and then they, I don't know, begin to appreciate their life a bit more, and they're like, we can stay here whilst we figure out a way back. And then in the second movie, they try and get back home, but they I think they like get off Madagascar, but then they're like still stuck in Africa, like they sort of crash in Africa kind of thing, and stuff like that. And that's fun. And then the third one has them traveling through Europe in an attempt to sort of, you know, as a sort of passing through route to get through back to America. There are lots of like new and colorful characters in that one. I like the new characters in that movie. And Tauros, can you stop whilst I'm talking about Madagascar, please? And then they did do. See, this was a bit of a weird one. They did a Penguins of Madagascar movie, but there were like a couple of things very sort of weird or strange about it. So thing number one was, were the Penguins of Madagascar a big highlight of... were the Penguins of Madagascar a big hit in those original movies? They were kind of like, you know, the Minions before the Minions kind of thing. You know, they were like, ah ha ha, the funny comic side relief. But like, so they were excellent. But like, but the thing was, so they were excellent and they were funny. But the thing that really, really popularized them was like the Nickelodeon TV show, where they had a different cast of voice actors for the show. So they had a Nickelodeon TV show which was like good and successful and everything, and I remember enjoying that. And then like, but I think sort of coming off of the success of the show. So I'm just looking up what shinies to hunt for next. But then sort of coming off the success of the show, they were like, oh, let's do a spin-off movie. But then they brought back like the movie cast for the voice actors, which was a bit weird. Like, I know that the guys who are in the movie have always played them in movies, but I feel like the reason they made a movie was because of the television show. So they probably should have used the people from the television show for the movie. Like, that was a bit of a weird one. It was a bit odd. The second thing that was odd about it was a certain casting decision, which I'll get to in a sec, but let's just see what shinies we need. So I don't want to get any starters. I don't want to get Horsey, because that's too awkward. We could try and go for something like Oricorio, Esper, or Solosis, but Esper, we do have, like, we need a specific gender of Esper, which is, like, a bit whatever. We need Skarmory, that's true. We do need Diglett, the Alolan Diglett. I thought I had shiny Alolan Diglett, but apparently I might not, I don't know. So we could try and hunt for shiny Alolan Diglett, maybe? I don't know if it's the only steel type in the area that it appears in, but we could try for it, and then if not, we could go for a Skarmory. There is still Joltik and Blitzel, although now I'll get the Blitzel from the coaching, I think. But we do need Joltik still. And then we do need Oddish is like the big one that we've like kind of never touched, I would say. It's like the biggest one we've never touched. And then that's actually kind of it. Like Cottony, Comfy, and Oddish were like the only other ones. I think we should try and go for the Diglett, because I began telling this story and then I realized I didn't finish telling the story. The Diglett, they had the wrong Diglett on Cerebi, and I actually tweeted Joe from Cerebi, and I didn't follow up to see if he saw the tweet, if he liked the tweet, whatever, but like it has been changed. Diglett and Dugtrio do now work. They do now work on the website, so that's really cool. There's a Rotom, that's kind of nifty. But yeah, so although will Diglett be too small? No, actually no, Diglett should be fine because it is like a different color. If I was hunting for a regular Diglett, I wouldn't do that on stream. But if I'm hunting for like a Alolan, this should be fine. Oh, hang on a sec. Sorry, my chat didn't scroll. Diglett, dig. I know. Finish it, Kevin. Solosis, Miss Wanikin says. That's the thing, maybe we could go for Solosis. Fun fact, the reason why the Penguins voice actors returned for the show is because they have so much fun playing them. But like only one or... Hang on, how many... Only like the main Penguin returned for the show. Yeah, only like the main Penguin returned for the show. So I know, I think just... How fitting talking about Madagascar in the Safari era, but we were hunting for Blitzel, so you know it's gonna happen. Okay, let's see. Right, save the game. So let's go Picnic. I'm gonna have to leave the cave, aren't I? Hang on a sec. Let's get back out of this cave. How did we even get in here in the first place? I don't even know how we got in here. I see the light. I see light. Oh, hey, it's Torkoal. Oh, it's Happiny. Very nice. Okay. Hang on a minute. How do I get out of here? Okay, come on, come on, come on. Right, come on, come on. How do I... Okay, come on. Right, let's get out. Okay, this is not the same way I came in, but... Right, okay. Let's go for some steel types. Let's see if we can get ourselves an Alolan Diglett. This won't add to our Pokedex. But let's see if we can get an Alolan Diglett. And then if they don't spawn very much or anything, we can go for Skarmory. Or Excadrill, which is also... an alternative. So we've saved 50 bajillion times. I am also, whilst I make this sandwich, going to try and find my granola bar thing and eat that, because I am starting to get a bit hungry now and my stomach feels a bit more settled. No, don't talk to me, Oscarada. So make a sandwich. I believe a steel type sandwich is a burger sandwich, and you may be saying, no, what kind of burger sandwich? And I mean, no, a burger sandwich. Like, we need to get like three burgers on this thing. So we're gonna do. Actually, what we'll do, we'll actually put the burgers down first. We'll try and see how this works. See, I don't think 3 is gonna work here, is it? Okay, but that's okay. Because we can just do like tomato 1, tomato 2, tomato 3. That's a little bit more precarious than I would have liked, I won't lie. Oh gosh, this is going to be scary. Hang on, 1, 2, 3. This is a proper Saturday morning cartoon of a sandwich. There we go. Right. Oat bar, go. I'm probably going to choke on this bar because it's all like bitty and oaty and everything else. I probably should even check the expiration date on this thing, but oh well. We'll just eat it and see how it goes. Mmm. Look at that sandwich, so ridiculous. Right, sparkling title encounter. Nice. Do forgive me if I'm a bit more cautious about talking and doing voices and stuff. Whenever you're eating like a granola bar or like oats or something, you do need to be careful about talking whilst doing it, because you can like choke, because they're so dry, you can like choke on a note. So I do just want to be kind of careful here. Also, I'm just going to get what Diglett looks like on my phone. I believe it is like it's like far redder in color or something. But we'll see what happens. Oh, there's Doug Trio. Do I not have like just regular Diglett? Where did Diglett go? Well, there's Diglett. There's a Diglett. Let's change it to that, because it's got the blue nose, but yeah, it's like bright red, and then it's got the blue nose, and I think its base is like a little bit darker too. So let's see how this goes. Okay. I'm wondering if that Torkoal is like a static encounter. Oh, there's the Alolan Doug Trio. I do fear that eating this bar will then make me hungry, because it's like once my stomach... Because one thing with me and food is I can go like without food for a long time and stuff like that. And like I said, I don't get hungry in the mornings and whatever. But But what can happen is once I do start eating, once I do get some food in me, my stomach then sort of realizes like, oh, I'm hungry, I need sustenance. And then everything catches up. So again, I may need to nip out after this sandwich hump just to quickly grab a quick bite of something else. But don't worry, I won't take long. So let's see. But yeah, basically, the shiny Diglett is like way more red, like bright reddish in color, like bright reddish, like a bright browny reddishy color. And then its nose will be blue as well. So for a regular Diglett, it's literally just the nose is blue. And if you're like really zoomed in on them like this, you can do it. But that's why, like, if you're hunting for like a regular Diglett, you want to do it in handheld mode. But if you're hunting for an Alolan Diglett, if you get like 5 of them together like that, you'll be able to see really easily, like which one is the shiny and which one isn't. So, right, granola bar number 2, I choose you. Okay. But yeah, maybe I should make like granola bars or flapjacks and then like freeze them and I don't know. Or something. Maybe that could be like a good quick snack to eat. Because I find like having food is just hard because of like expiration dates and stuff like that. If you like lived with like a family or something, you could probably like, you know, when you have like a family, you can sort of buy things in big quantities and you don't need to worry about them expiring. You know it's going to get like eaten up in like the next few days or whatever kind of thing. But when you are just sort of like, you know, like a single guy and you're just kind of on your own and you do your own sort of shopping and food stuff, you kind of do fall in a rut of like eating the same foods over and over again because it's just hard being like, okay, what can I cook where it's like, you know, it's like good to like freeze and reheat, or you can just like eat it right from the or you can just like prepare it right from the freezer or something. And like breakfast foods can be hard and stuff like that, you know. And even if it's something like, oh, you could have like cereal, it's like, yeah, but you got to make sure you have like milk, you know. Like when I went to the store the other day, they actually didn't have milk, so it's like I've been without milk for like a week or so. I wondered if maybe milk had something to do with that indigestion-y issue I mentioned earlier, but I've been without it for a week and I don't feel any different than I normally do, so... but anyway, bark. Okay, so... let's see what we've got here. Diglett. Unfortunately, we're not getting loads of Diglett spawns, is the biggest issue. The thing that I might have to do is I might have to, like, say, run down a bit of a corridor... and then like run back kind of thing. Like despawn all the Diglett in this room and then come back and then it's like, oh look, there's like a load more Digletts and Dugtrios or something, I don't know. Okay, let's have another quick bite of granola. Okay. But yeah, so this is good for spawning Oh, shiny! I was about to say, this is good for spawning Digletts and Dugtrios, but there's not like a whole load of them appearing, so I was like, I don't know if we're going to get a shiny, and then we get the shiny. So hang on, we just need to be a good distance away because they like to hide in the ground. But yeah, so can you see how it's like all bright browny? It's like a very reddish brown, and then it's got the blue nose as well. So you can tell really easily. Oh no, no. Can Dugtrios know Memento? I feel like they can. That's not ideal. Repeat ball, I choose you. No! Oh, come on. Right, let's use a Dusk Ball instead. Because we are in a cave. Okay, that failed miserably. No, don't use Dig! Can I switch out to another Pokemon? Okay. It is being a brat. Right, I've switched to Clodsire. Don't you dig? It dug. I know it's a dog trio, so it's like, oh, what were you expecting? But still. Okay. Come on. Right, it's super effective. Yeah, I know it is. Now, a thing that happens a lot is sometimes I'll try and catch a Pokemon without, like, weakening it or anything. And then I'll get fed up and I'll switch into Clodsire to use Yawn. But on the turn between the yawning and the going to sleep, I then have no choice but to, like, just throw a Dusk Ball or a Repeat Ball. And usually it's this very turn where it's not asleep, but it's about to be asleep when I catch it. So let's see how that goes. Dusk Ball, let's go. Oh, no, okay. It's going to fall asleep. That did not work. Interesting. Can I just point out, again, for all the people who... I don't necessarily think having the Pokemon battle in, like, the literal actual location where you are is a good thing. Like, do you know what I mean? Because I could barely move this camera around and stuff, and it's like, oh, it's like, can you see how awkward this camera is? How, like, the dog trio was blocked off, and then now, now that the wall's not blocking it off, it, like, zooms in awkwardly. It's just awkward. I'm going to use a Repeat Ball in a second. Because I don't know. Just in case there's anything off with, like, the Dusk Ball kind of thing. Because this is very annoying. Okay, let's see. Oh, we might even be able to just use a Timer Ball in a minute as well. Right, Repeat Ball. There we go, we got it. Hurrah! There we go! Nice. Okay. Nice, baby. Do. Right, okay, so, where are we going? We were going upwards. No, we're trying to see if there's, like, a room that we can kind of say, like, go in and out of that, like, spawns them nicely. But maybe we just need to run around this cave endlessly, running around and around and around, and this is a dead end, isn't it? Why is this a dead end? Okay. Right, Meowscarada! Why are you not attacking? Attack them, Meowscarada! Okay, or don't. Thank you. Okay. So, let's see what we got here. What are the odds? Okay, so chat. Do you think, right? Do you think we will get... So do you think, right, we've got 20 minutes left on this sandwich. Do you think we will get the shiny Alolan Diglett that we are seeking? Do you think we'll get the shiny Diglett? Do you think we'll not get any shinies? Or do you think we'll get another Dug Trio? What do you think will happen? Do you think we won't get any shinies? Like, do you think the sandwich will just run out without us having any more success? Do you think... This room seems to be good, by the way. I don't know what's up with this room, but this is a good room. Let's see what happens if we go... Oh, here we go. These 2 rooms could be good. Oh, we got Slowpoke as well. That's kind of funny. I don't know why Diglets are not spawning in here. But that's okay. But do you think we'll get nothing? Do you think we'll get Diglett? Or do you think we'll get another Dugtrio? Because we're seeing more Diglets. And I'm going to try and make sure that we see more Diglets than... Hang on, what happened to... Oh, here we go. We'll go in the water here for a sec, just to see what lies this way. Nothing. Come back, Meowscarada. Hang on, why are you not attacking? Why are you doing the attacking like there's a shiny there when there's not a shiny there? Okay. So I think these 2 rooms seem to be the ticket, right? Like, we're getting quite a lot of Diglets in here. And then... and then if you go to the... Oh, no, I didn't bump into anything! Okay. I know this is really annoying, but it's actually quicker and easier for me to just attack and KO this thing. Because they can have the arena trap ability where you're stuck. And so it's just easier to quickly beat them. Rather than find out what its ability is, it's easier to just KO them. If we run into any. Okay, so... Whoop, no, I jumped. So let's see. Kevin thinks I'll get another. Positivity for the win. Miss Warnykins. Only one raid so far. Oh, no. What kind of Pokemon are you raiding with, if you don't mind me asking? And then if... Well, like, what sort of thing. And then let's see. Oh, for the love of Nelly. Sorry, I was trying to look for Miss Warnykins' comment. But yeah, what Pokemon are you using to raid with, and what kind of strategies are you using? I'd love to hear. I don't know if you saw my recommendations for what Pokemon I like to raid with. And if you use any of them, because I have a whole bunch of raiding Pokemon, like my Magearna. My Magearna is actually a new one. There was some raid event where someone was like, "Oh, Magearna's really really good to solo this," and then I tried it and I was like, "Oh yeah, I have a Magearna," and then I was like, "Oh, the Magearna really works." So, hi Popcat. Lovely to see you. Welcome. We are currently hunting for a Alolan Diglett and, well, I was going to say Alolan Diglett and Alolan Dugtrio, but we actually got Alolan Dugtrio first. So now we're just hoping that we don't accidentally run into another and that we get the shiny Diglets. But let's see. No. See, that's what I was expecting when I jumped over the previous one, that you kind of do the bumpy thing where you kind of bump off it. But no, we just ran into it. Let's see what we got. Right, okay. Actually, not a whole lot in here. That kind of sucks. Okay. Let's see. And then we get, I think these 2 rooms, as annoying as this is, as boring as this is to just check these 2 rooms and only these 2 rooms, I think that this might be the way to go about it, guys. And I do apologize that that's going to be what we do for the next 15 minutes. But yeah. Okay, so what do we talk about for the next 15 minutes? Well, one thing that's helped us in the past is talking about Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which I am now done with. So, yeah. It's... because basically, sort of a week ago, or last week, I completed the... sort of before the last stream, I completed the main story, I completed the main game, and then I took a couple of days off or whatever, I beat it on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or something, and then I took a couple of days off, and then last Friday I began the DLC, and then on Thursday night, so sort of almost a week later, on the 7th day, I completed Xenoblade Chronicles 3 DLC. And that was kind of it. It was funny. The DLC it was interesting. The ending was kind of interesting. Just because, like, the game has, like, 5 chapters. And the 4th one is actually, like, quite long. And you kind of do it, but there's kind of this point where it's like, oh, once you go to a certain place / do a certain thing, that really just, like, kicks the rest of the game into happening kind of thing. And then like chapter 5 is kind of like chapter 5 is essentially just like the final boss fight, and that's it. So that was quite interesting because like chapter 4 was kind of beginning to drag on. I was like, the other chapters are all kind of quite like snappy, and this one's dragging on. And I was like, and surely like once you get to that place, like surely like that's kind of like the end of the game, right? And then it was like, yeah, it is. But it was good. It was a nice little extra story. It's always interesting how they have these little kind of basic like mini Xenoblade Chronicles games kind of thing. Like it's, you kind of almost normally you kind of with like a DLC, like, oh, there's like a DLC story or something. You'd kind of expect some kind of you would normally expect just some kind of like add-on to the main game, and you can use like with this game, but like with Pokémon Scarlet and Violet. You know, it's like, oh, you go to Kitakami, you go to the Terranium, like the Blueberry Academy, and you do these sort of extra things like on top of your save file. But with the last 2 Xenoblade games, they've been like, no, we're gonna like kind of have the same world that you've already been to, but we'll create like a new map within it, and you're gonna use like some characters you're kind of familiar with in some way or another, but they're all gonna start from like level 1, and you're gonna build up and, I don't know, get to like level 50 or something instead of level 70. We'll change the level curve so that the leveling is a bit different or whatever. So it's really interesting, but it was an interesting story. It was an interesting way to tie it all together and to kind of see, like, because I suppose some of the questions, it was like one of the big questions was, well, what happened to, or like, what has happened to all the other characters? And although the Xenoblade 3 DLC doesn't answer that for like every character, like there are characters just kind of not there who they kind of allude to, like not being there kind of thing, like, oh, if only so and so was here. And it's like, yeah, where are they? But yeah, but yeah. But I had a good time with it. I had a good time with the game overall. It's funny because the only thing that the game story is very heavy, and I don't think it helped with the sort of recent anxiety that I've kind of had and stuff like that. So that's not to say don't get Xenoblade 3 or else you'll end up an anxious wreck or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But its story was surprisingly like heavier than I thought, and it just kind of latched on to some, latched on to other things going on in my life. And like I said a couple of weeks ago, perfect storm of whatever. I won't talk about this anxiety every week, and don't talk to me about it every week or whatever, but it keeps coming up in one way or another. So I'll like, if I want to bring it up, I'll bring it up. But yeah, but the story was surprisingly heavy, but it was like an excellent story. And the gameplay was really good, and it just did a lot of really small things to just kind of like streamline the experience. And then it's always interesting with the DLC because the DLC will kind of add in or change a few things that are kind of different. So like one thing was, I talked before actually, like last week, about how Xenoblade games, or at least Xenoblade 3 has this thing where you kind of like have a combination. So it'd kind of be like, you use a move that inflicts a status called like break, and then you use another move that inflicts a status called topple, and you have to do it in that order. You have to do break then topple kind of thing. So like your break character will break the opponent, and then you topple them. And in other games, I think in like Xenoblade 2 was when they sort of split the pathway. I can't really remember what number 1 did, but they had this thing where you could have, but you either have, so it's like break, topple, and then you have like launch, then smash, or you have, it's like daze, then burst, or something like that. I can't remember whether that was introduced in 2 or 3, but in 3 you definitely have it. Like in 3, I kind of like you have like a character who uses days a lot, so I would get a lot of like days rather than launch. Um, but it's just interesting how in the 3 DLC you think it's going to be the same thing, where it's like, oh, they're the first two like break and topple, but then then they'll just have like launch and whatever. But actually you had break, topple, launch, and then you had like burst, blow down, and smash or whatever kind of thing, like that sort of thing. So it kind of had like, instead of having two and then these like all these other two like paths, it had like three and then like 3 ways to end it, which was really interesting. And it was sort of kind of, and you could like pair your characters up differently and stuff like that, which is interesting because in the main game your characters were kind of paired in like a set way, like there's Noah and Mio and they will always kind of be connected kind of thing, whereas in this game like just everyone was sort of could be connected, which was kind of interesting, and there were like fun combinations you could do mixing them around. But yeah, and then it was interesting just sort of seeing, again, it's a shame it's been so long since I've played the first game, because I can't remember a whole lot about it as much now as I can with like the second and the third. But it was still interesting seeing the like references to the first 2 games and seeing like where characters come from and where the characters tie into previous games and stuff like that. And yeah, it was just a nice little story, and it was good. It was a fun little, and one thing I did quite like about the DLC for 3 is it did do a very good job at kind of making everything collectible and making collecting stuff worth it. I really liked the system where like, oh, if you uncover secrets and you visit lots of different places and all this kind of stuff, that helps you to unlock like moves and abilities and stuff like that. Like it really kind of encourages you to go out there and find everything, and there are incentives to doing that. And I really liked that, because the other games have kind of in some ways lacked that, or there's been a bit of a clear lack of like, well, why should I go and check out more stuff? And 3 was really good for that. Hang on, so let's see. 1 only had break topple days. Yeah, that's what I did. I was like, I think I only had 1, but okay, that's right. But let's see. Oh, let's see, Miss Wannikins. Oh, you're using your Mew. It's you're best as a support. It's best as a support unit, but you're not like a raid professional. Miss Wannikins, did you ever see all my raid Pokemon that I posted ages ago? I'll show them to you after this hunt is over. If you didn't see them before, there was a stream I did where at the end of it, I was like, I think I did a bunch of shiny hunting. I was like, chat, do you mind if I just like do some raids for a bit and get some shiny hunting materials and stuff? And then I showed off a bunch of my raid Pokemon. For one thing, I'd highly recommend watching the end of that stream if you never did. Unfortunately, I can't remember which one it was. But even so, either way, whether you saw it or not, I can show you my raids and stuff like that. Double spinning edge. So yeah. But yeah, 3's DLC was like, yeah, it was a nice sort of story, quite nicely paced and stuff. It kind of went along. The only thing was it did kind of go along at quite a quick lick, and then like Chapter 4 was kind of a bit slow. Although in fairness, Chapter 4 may have been a bit slow just because that's when I chose to focus on side quests the most. But oh, that was one thing I will say about it. The DLC was quite tricky. I actually did like lose to a boss or 2 kind of thing, and like that was like annoying. The final boss used some move like Perfect Monado or something, and it just wiped out my whole team in 1 hit. Like my team was at full health and just KO'd everyone in 1 move, and I was like, what the heck? Like I can't, if you like have a move that can just 1 KO like everyone in 1 go, like what can I even do to stop that or prevent that or anything? And yeah, so that kind of sucked. But but then I did it again, and I won like pretty easily and convincingly. But yeah, it was interesting. In 3, I just did in the main story of 3. I really didn't have like any trouble with any enemies and stuff, apart from like one random bird that like KO'd me or something, and like my 2 healers like at the beginning of the fight, and it was just like, oh well, yeah, if you get my healers right away, then yeah, no, I'm screwed. So. Perfect Monado. It was really weird because I could swear it just said like Perfect Monado, but I think it was the Perfect Monado Buster. But let's see. Kevin, you lost to the final boss, 1-hit move 2. Didn't realize you had to hit the blade. Right, yeah, I think I don't know. I think I did kind of realized like something was up, but that was one thing I will say though. With 3, I did think about like my strategizing and my moves and what I was like selecting a little bit more, because like I said, with the main game of 3, I kind of just ended up very focused on, I just had a very established team, and I just did like the same thing again and again and again, and I didn't really ever have to worry about like what the enemy was capable of or what the enemy did. I never really changed anything up to like match a bad guy or anything, you know, whereas like with 2, I'd be like, okay, hang on, I have like a different teammate to switch in, or like, okay, with 2 I need to like use this element, or I need to like switch to this element or something like that, you know. You know, and that was kind of how, you know, it just kind of like, oh, if you had a different baddie, you know, the battles were just a bit more kind of like engaging in a way, because you would kind of be like, oh, okay, hang on, they've just switched their element or something, I'm gonna like switch my element. Whereas with 3, it was just like, right, I'm gonna try and break them, and then if I break them, I'll topple them and launch them, and if I don't, then I'll just build things up again until I can try breaking them again. And like that was all kind of 3 was, and it was very fun to like do, you know, sort of get your breaks, your topples, and your launches off and then do like your fusion attacks, and then do like your chain attack. Like that was really fun. Like chain attacks were like the most fun in this game, I feel like, because it was nice not having to do the timing. But like still, it just kind of, you know. But like I said, there was just like a bit less strategy with 3, and with the DLC, like that did kind of come back a little bit, which was nice. I don't really know what you could do to fix 3 to give it more strategy, though, other than maybe, say, like, add in an element system, like 2 had or something like that. There's not really a whole lot it could have done. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, so, yeah, Miss Wannikins. Yeah, I will show you my raid Pokemon in 3 minutes and 16 seconds. Chat, I don't know what emojis to do. Maybe like brown and blue hearts. If there's any like brown hearts and blue hearts, just do those. And then why does my Masquerada not have a whole lot of health? That's kind of weird. For 3, you found strategize at times because you was going. Oh, hang on. I'll read what you said in a second, Kevin. Hang on. We'll just finish this hunt and then we'll see how it goes. I could have sworn I had a shiny Alolan Diglett, but I thought I got one in Pokemon Go. Like, I thought I hatched one or something, but I couldn't seem to find one in my Pokemon Home. Maybe I'll check my Pokemon Home in a minute, and I'll see if but I'm sure I checked my Pokemon Home, like, the other day, and it was like, nope, you only have your regular Diglett and your regular Dugtrio. And I was like, I could have sworn. But maybe I, like, knew someone who got a shiny. And then I'm thinking of theirs instead of, like, one of my own. But yeah, we'll have to see. Okay. Love Cat Mew Mew. I love the little worms. That's quite funny. Because they're supposed to be, like, moles, but... Like, they're a mole and they dig in a hole, but yeah, they just sort of, they are just, like, big worms, really. Okay. But yeah, no, those are all just regularly coloured. But yeah, good work with the hearts, everyone. Let's see if this works, shall we? It works 100% of the time sometimes. Okay. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. We can do this, we can do this, we can do this. So yeah, so I am now all done with Xenoblade. Like, just I suppose generally with Xenoblade. I mean, that's not true, because I would like to get one definitive and play through that again at some point. And in all honesty, I kind of do want to play through 2 again. Because now that I know so much more about like how the battle system works and about like the blades and because I like have the DLC content now, like I'll have like a bunch of like DLC blades and stuff like that. I kind of would like to, you know, like play through it again. Now that I actually know more about how it works, and I might actually like be over leveled for the final battle instead of a bit under leveled for it. And yeah, but the thing with 3 is I played 3 very comprehensively. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I you know, I only did ascension quests for like the main hero characters, and I only did like Ino's ascension quest with regards to the heroes. So I mean like the main characters, not the main heroes. I didn't really do any for like the heroes, just for like the main characters. I only did Ino's. But like, so there were like loads of side quests and stuff that like I did not do in the main story, but like I did so many side quests in the same story, in the main story. Like I actually did make a conscious effort to like do a bunch of side quests this time, and there's still just so many left. So I don't really like have a yearning to like go and do every quest right now or anything like that. I even have like access to like 2 extra characters. Like I thought that there were only like 2 extra characters, but then actually once you beat the DLC, you get like 2 more characters. And I'm noticing Pokemon that are not Dugtrio. So I think that's it for this round of shinies. Okay, so there's a couple of things we can hunt for here. I will show off my Pokemon to Miss Wannykins in a second. But let's just see what we've got. Because we could... I'm kind of tempted to try and go for something new. But let's see what we've got. Like, okay, so there's Oddish and Comfey. Smeargle. I don't really want to, like, aim for Smeargle. I feel like Smeargle's something I could get. I kind of want to go for... Oh, someone did say Solosis earlier. No, Solosis is hard to get, though, on stream. Like, I think Solosis might be one is better left for off-screen. And off stream. Joltik Blitzo. I really want to try and get Drillbur. Would you guys mind if I tried to get Drillbur? It's small, it's probably best left for like a off stream hunt, but I don't know. Oh, there's a guy who brought a Blaziken. Well, I mean, in fairness, if... oh, well. I was going to say, if you're doing the Empoleon raid, like, it's a nice type, but you weren't talking about Empoleon specifically. I'm tempted to try and hunt for Drillburs. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go to the Chargestone Cavern. I'm going to show Miss Wannykins my raid Pokemon. And then we'll do it. So, first of all, Miss Wannykins. So, because we've done raids together in Pokemon Sword, but the raids in this game do work differently. And my best suggestion is, if like for 5-star raids, not for like 6-star or 7-star, but for 5-star raids, your best friend is Belly Drum. So if you can see my Iron Hands here, notice it's got a Shell Bell for healing, but it's got Belly Drum to max out your attack, and then Drain Punch to immediately heal back. If I need to use an electric move instead, then that's what like the Shell Bell is for. And yeah, and if you feel if you're feeling confident, if you're feeling cocky, you can get off the electric terrain before using Belly Drum or whatever. But the idea is to basically just max your attack in one go, and then like go, hit, which also explains Azumarill. Azumarill's very good as well. It's better as a fairy type than a water type, I feel like. But again, Belly Drum and Play Rough. But you can use Light Screen or Charm to kind of like lower the opponent's attack if you to sort of like kind of buff up your defenses and stuff if you're worried that you might get taken out after a belly drum. But if belly drum's a bit much for you, the other two so the main two Pokemon I recommend are Koraidon and Miraidon. Koraidon, you can use Swords Dance. Just use Swords Dance like 3 times, and then if you need to heal up, use Drain Punch. If you don't, use Collision Course. Or if you only need to heal up a little bit, use Collision Course. If you have a super effective, if fighting is super effective against whatever you're using, Collision Course just does like so much damage, particularly after like 2 or 3 Swords Dances. And Miraidon unfortunately doesn't get Nasty Plot, but it does get Metal Sound. If you use like 1 Metal Sound, that's kind of like really all you need. But again, if you're super effective, so if you're against like water and flying types, use Metal Sound and then use Electro Drift. If you're against like ice, normal, dark, rock, steel, if you use Swords Dance and then Collision Course, you're set. Like these two are just like perfect for raiding. I did put up my raid teams on Twitter. I can't remember I don't know if like Xander would be able to maybe find that tweet and like post a link to it, but that's asking a bit much. But I did put a tweet with like all my raid teams, like pictures of all these teams on them. So you can see like what item they hold and what moves they have and stuff like that. So the first thing is like Belly Drum. So like Belly Drum is like a really good one. It's good for Iron Hands. It's good for Azumarill. One of the best ones is Ursaluna. I've got this Ursaluna from my Pokemon Legends Arceus. And as you can see, this one's a little bit different. Instead of having Shell Bell, I've got Flame Orb. Because if you use Belly Drum and then you get the Flame Orb boost, your attack stat is absolutely insane. You're just getting attack on attack on attack. And then you can use Drain Punch to heal, or just Facade or Earthquake to absolutely just rip through opponents. So those are like your belly drummers. You've got your 2 legendary Pokemon. A fun novelty one is Espathra. If you have Espathra with the Opportunist ability, Opportunist is where if the opponent boosts their stats, you get the exact same stat boosts. So if you're facing off against someone where they like to boost their stats, or just they have an ability where their stats are boosted, like say if they have the speed boost ability, so they're getting a speed boost every turn. If they have like Defiant, or as we saw earlier with Empoleon, competitive. If you're against a competitive Pokemon and you're using Espathra, you will just keep getting boosts yourself. And then, so Lumina Crash. Lumina Crash is excellent because it lowers the opponent's special defense by 2 stages whilst also doing damage. So you're basically just getting stronger and stronger each time. And then I also have Stored Power because if they boost up their stats a lot, once you've used Lumina Crash a couple of times, your Stored Power will then get more powerful than Lumina Crash if they've boosted up their stats enough. And you've copied their stat boost. If you've copied enough stat boosts, Stored Power can be insane. Another one that's really, really good is Annihilate. You can use Screech on it on the first turn to lower defense, and then bulk up to boost your own stats. But basically, Annihilate is super fun because every time you get hit, the move Rage Fist does more damage. And even if you faint, that is like preserved, right? So they keep hitting you. Even if you die, when you come back, you just use Rage Fist again and again and again. And you just use Rage Fist over and over and over, and it will just get insanely powerful. So that's a really fun one. Superior, if you use the ability thing on Superior to get the contrary ability, you can just use Leaf Storm over and over and over, and that just boosts your special attack over and over and over and over. So again, you can sort of see, like, the trick is things where you can kind of, like, boost your own stats, or where your move just gets more and more powerful. So, like, Skeledirge here, with Torch Song, you keep using Torch Song, it just gets more and more powerful, because that boosts your special attack every single time you use it. Appleton is an absolute legend, Michelle can tell you. Apple Acid like lowers the opponent's special defense, kind of similar to Lumina Crash, though not quite as effective. But again, it's just basically this idea where you keep using the same move over and over and over. It keeps lowering the opponent's defenses, which then means that you do more and more damage. And then, so then you can use like a Giga Drain to heal off if you need it, stuff like that. So Titan's another belly drummer. It's not the best one. I would only use it if you have a good ice type move. I mentioned Magina earlier, which you can still get from the Pokemon Sun and Moon and then transfer into your regular games. There's only about there's more time, but currently there's like 2 months left to do that, and then we don't know how long beyond 2 months. But that Soul Heart ability, every time your allies faint, you get more and more powerful, so that's lots and lots of fun. So hopefully this is kind of giving you some ideas and just kind of general ideas. But yeah, there is a tweet that do you remember how long ago? No, unfortunately not. I don't. If you just did like @BeauVO raid teams or something, or like raid stream or something like that, maybe in the search bar, maybe that will bring it up. And then if you look under like the media tab or something, it was like last year somewhen, but I can't remember. So unfortunately I can't remember the stream either, but I actually demonstrated a bunch of these Pokemon as well. Manaphy's another good one if you have Manaphy, because it's Tail Glow. You only need to use 2 of those to maximize your special attack. So as you can see, there's lots of Weezing's interesting because again, Acid Spray is like Apple Acid and Lumina Crash, where they just get like weaker and weaker and weaker. So there's lots of interesting options here, but generally the idea is you want to like stat up and then have some way to like heal your health, either with like a draining move like Draining Kiss, Drain Punch, or just by holding a Shell Bell, or both. As you can see, a lot of these Pokemon have Shell Bells. But again, it's like Sword Stance, and then you just use your attack. It's got the Defiant ability, so that I may not even need to use Sword Stance, but you can see all these Pokemon have like Shell Bells on them. Because it's basically just stat up and attack, and if you can attack with a move that's either insanely powerful or that lowers the opponent's stats, that's really, really good. But that's why Empoleon was difficult, because usually you want to lower the opponent's stats, but for that Empoleon, you don't want to do that. So I have screenshots of like all these Pokemon, not like Superior and Manaphy, because they're sort of slightly newer, but yeah, I might be able to find the tweet at like the end of the stream. But let's now hunt for a Drillbur, shall we? Although I am a bit nervous that instead of a Drillbur, we'll just end up getting a Golurk. But let's see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. I wonder if I could find it very quickly whilst making this sandwich. Right. Ooh. Well, I can't multitask completely. Make a sandwich. Oh, whoa, that's very bright. The electricity in the cavern is very bright. Right. This is going to be the ham sandwich, I believe. I probably should have checked if I saved my game then. Because I hope I did. But oh well. Wow, that is very bright. I do apologize. Depending on where you are, it affects the brightness of the sandwich. And because we're in a we're in a dark cave, which is the funny thing, but we're in this dark cave, but it's got all this like bright electric light to it, so. Alright, 1, and 2, and 3, and 1, and 2, and 3. Nice. And then we're going to drop the bread over here nice and gently. Don't. See, look, I moved the bread to the top left, so it specifically doesn't knock everything down, and then it still knocked everything down. Right. Beau VO raid team. Dang it. Raid stream. Nope, that didn't work either. Why is a picture of Koi there? I don't know. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. How did I label it? How did I, like, label... Okay, I'll try and find that or something. I probably have the image somewhere. I can probably, like, tweet it again or something. So, Sparkling Encounter title. Okay. So, in this cave, you can find Drillburs. I probably need to look at what Drillbur looks like. But I think... Oh, hang on. Are these the only thing appearing? Yes! I mean, Excadrill as well. That's fine. But, like, if we don't get Golurk... Because I thought Golurk and Golurk can appear here, but maybe they don't. Maybe they don't appear in the cave. Oh, I wish I'd known this before. This is a hunt I would have done ages ago. I mean, Drillbur is quite small, so we'll have to be kind of, like, vigilant on and keep a real close eye out. But this looks like it's going to be a good hunt. Okay, Oh, okay. So I when I was on Twitter, I just saw I sort of got on like the trending page, and there was like "rest in peace," and I was just like, oh no, who's died now? Because I was like, we just had like Carl Weathers, like the news about Carl Weathers yesterday, but it was actually just still tributes for him. So at least that's like less sad. Right, okay. Let's go to... Who do we need to... Well, this I need to... Hold on. This I need to, like, put up here or something. And then, right, Drillbur. Where are you, Drillbur? On my notes. My notes with my pictures and stuff. Here we go. Okay, so Drillbur... So it's got, like, a pink stripe on its body instead of blue, and then its nose... So basically, its nose and its body are kind of reversed. Normally, it has a pink nose with, like, a blue stripe on its body, whereas the shiny is, like... pink-bodied with like with a blue nose. So we can either look at the nose or we can look at the stripe, but it's like, look, blue stripe. Excadrill I think is a bit more obvious because it's kind of pinky or whatever. I feel like I can see pink over there, but I assume I'm just hallucinating. Yes. Okay, this is a good hunt. Finally, we've actually got a Pokemon that's like a pretty good hunt. I mean, we're still going to have to inspect these things quite closely as they do all their little Naruto runs. But still, this should be a good one. This should be a good one. I have faith in this. Hopefully we saved the game beforehand, but if we didn't, it's fine. Because I think that this is a good enough shiny hunt such that we don't need it. But chat, what emojis are we going to have here? Is there a mole emoji? Like the animal, not like a freckly thing. Are there mole emojis? Are there like digging or earth emoji, like sort of like dirt emojis or something? If we had like a mole, like a dirt mole sparkle, or we can just do pink hearts. Just do pink hearts. It's fine. If we did like pink and light blue, do the light blue, not like the dark blue, but pink and light blue, that could be good. Sorry, I did also see, sorry, Xander did ask a question as well about who was my favorite hero. I think from like the DLC, like who was my, so as in like who was my favorite character? Just remind me of like your question again, if that was your question. You did ask a question and I realized I hadn't answered it. So, and let's just check chat very, very quickly. Yeah, Appleton. And then other stuff. Oh, hang on. Oh, Love Cat Mew Mew, you got a shiny Smeargle. Nice. Was that just generally or like today? Like literally you were like, I got one just now. But yes. Or did you mean what was like my favorite hero class? Like who was my favorite hero to have like in addition to my team? So, because yeah, I made sure to like get all the heroes, as I sort of talked about last week. Like, and I did get the 2 like post game ones, but I haven't got like the 2 sort of post DLC ones. I want to keep it kind of vague, but it's also kind of obvious. But like, let's just say 2 of the characters from the DLC you can then use in the main game once you beat the DLC, but you also have to beat like some challenge thing for it, like the little Adam Howden Nop-on dude. You need to like do that, and I didn't do any of those challenges. I accidentally triggered the cutscene for it, but I didn't go do any of those challenges because I just wasn't really interested in the challenge battles very much, unfortunately. Because like I said, you know, the battling was fun, but I just didn't really like yearn for like more of it, kind of thing. I just yearned for like different of it more than more of it. And again, it's not that it was bad, because it was like, again, it's probably some of the most. Hang on. Are you different, or is that just lighting? That's just lighting, isn't it? The old lighting game. Okay, I might need to use the loo to pee in a minute, because I've drunk a lot of water today. Because I haven't really drunk much water this week. For whatever reason, I don't know why. But I think it's why I had a bit of a stomach thing this morning as well. Because I might just be dehydrated and just not drinking enough water. So I need to make sure that I do that. And I haven't been doing that. And yeah. Little Naruto. Man, in Pokemon Sword, Excadrill was one of the most annoying Pokemon because of how fast it ran. It was really hard to dodge Excadrills. In this game, because of the lag and stuff like that, they just seem that like smidge slower. But yeah, this is a good shiny hunt though. I am so glad that this worked out so well. I can't believe I didn't check here when I tried for Drillbur before. I knew they spawned here, but I think I worried that like Golurk would spawn here as well. But yeah, I don't know. Weird stuff. Weird Beau. I believe too. I believe we're gonna get this. There's an Electros. It's not shiny, but it's an Electros. But yeah, not shiny. But yeah, see how they have this like blue stripe on them? We're looking for like one with a pink stripe on it. And then it will have like a blue nose. So instead of like pink nose, blue stripe, it will have pink stripe, blue nose. But I don't know which will be more obvious. I would like to think the pink stripe will be the more obvious thing, but it might not be. So we'll have to see. Okay. Shibertooth! Hello! Welcome. Lovely to see you. Also today, funnily enough today actually, I'm actually getting McDonald's today because I had a session come through this week that was like a nice little surprise. I wasn't expecting it. But I don't know, I didn't sort of feel great that day, and so I didn't really eat. It was at a weird time and stuff like that, so I just didn't really like eat that day and stuff, and like I would have got McDonald's that day, but I was like, yeah, well, you get your McDonald's on Friday anyway. Don't have it 2 days in a row. But actually, it's like, no, screw it. I am having it 2 days in a row. Because it's like, I still, even though I've been streaming for a year, I still haven't mastered, like, having food after a stream and stuff like that. Like, there are still some times where I, like, oh, I forgot to take something out the freezer, or like, oh, I don't really know. I kind of want to have something quick after the stream, but I don't really have anything that's, like, quick to prepare today and stuff like that. And so, are any of these two different? One of them looked really bright, and one of them looked kind of dark. And the thing is that but I've been doing my Friday McDonald's for like a while now, and I haven't like used any of my like McDonald's rewards in a while, and to the point where basically I'm about to hit like the limit on the rewards. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, well, I may as well. Oh, whoa, Shibertooth, we just got a $10 super chat from Shibertooth. Sorry, I'm getting a super chat from Shibertooth. Get yourself a nice treat for us after stream, Beau. Much love with a heart. Thank you so much, Shibertooth. That's so lovely. I really appreciate that. So basically, I was basically saying, yes, that is essentially my plan. Because I've been building up all these reward points, and I haven't used them, and to the point where I'm actually about to hit the like McDonald's point limit kind of thing. Like, look, you've been to McDonald's enough times without utilizing a reward that we're not gonna allow you to, you know, keep banking rewards kind of thing. So yeah, I'm like about to hit the limit. So it's kind of like, so I need to go on a non-Friday day, and it's kind of like, well, a Saturday after a stream is kind of perfect. And I did have this like extra session this week and stuff. Like I had the session this week we just had, and then this week coming, I've got a session booked as well. But that's actually on Friday, so I'll be having McDonald's that day anyway. So maybe I'll have McDonald's like next Saturday as well. Um, but but yeah, so it's kind of like, you know, I've had like I've had a pretty good start to the year, very thankfully, and I hope it continues. And I need to use these rewards, so it's like, yeah, if you know, book some nice, fun, cool gigs and stuff like that, like have McDonald's, make it like, you know, like have McDonald's on a day where it's made easier. And that's what I'm gonna do today. Yeah, I'm just gonna make it easy for myself because I didn't really plan for today well enough, and I've got all these rewards. So every once in a while, I swear that like one of these will look different, but it's just because of like the angle that I'm looking at them at, or the light from the cave or whatever, and they don't show up very well. Okay, chat. I desperately need to use the loo. So I'm just going to pause the game in a second and then nip to the loo, and then I'll be right back, okay? I do apologize, but it's just, yeah, I realized I'd, like, not really been drinking water this week, and that's maybe some of the reason why I don't know, just not felt as good this week as I did, like, the week before, because, like, this week I've just kind of not been drinking water. Again, I don't really know why I just haven't, but there've been multiple times this week where I have, like, looked at my water bottle and kind of picked it up, and it's, like, been empty, and then I've been like, oh, I don't think I've really been drinking much water. Like, I need to fill this up. But then I, like, wouldn't. and then didn't. And then, I don't know. I don't really know what happened. Again, it's been a crazy few weeks. Like, this year's been such a weird year already because I've had this, like, this weird anxiety thing come through, which has been horrible. But then, in terms of other stuff, my year's been really good. So, you know, like streaming and voice acting and friends and stuff like that. Everything else has been really good. So it's just really annoying I've been lumped with this other thing. But that's okay. I'm going to keep working past it and figure stuff out, and we'll get there. But anyway, so I won't talk about that because I'm trying to sort of move past it. But it's hard to know. Whenever you have anything, like I was sort of saying earlier, whenever you have anything like, you know, some big mental thing or some big physical thing, you kind of like just analyze yourself like way more and question like everything that's going on, and you don't know whether you kind of think or feel things because of you don't know whether you think or feel things because of the fact that you're asking, or whether you actually, you know, like, am I okay, or am I just questioning if I'm okay because I'm questioning if I'm okay. You know, it'd be like if you like tell someone something about a person before you're like, okay, you haven't met this person, but I'm going to tell you a thing about them. They're then going to look for that quality in the person, like, all throughout talking about them and stuff like that. So, I don't know. It's just that thing where, like, once, like, you get in your head about things, it's hard to get out of your head about them. Right, anyway, I said I was going to pee. I'm also going to just double-check Xander's question, because I still haven't really answered Xander's question. So I'm going to double-check and see what he asked, and then I'm going to treat myself to a trip to the loo, and then I will be right back. So hold on, be right back. And again, Shibatu, thank you again so much for that super chat. Oh, skip, skip, skip to the loo. So, okay. But yes. Let's see. Shibertooth asked, "How is everybody doing?" So no, I'm doing pretty good. I did sort of. I suppose I did answer this a couple of minutes ago. Hold on, Xander's question. UT be broken sometimes. DLC favorite character. Okay, so yeah, so of like the 6 DLC characters, you know, I like Shulk and Rex. Rex is like a really interesting one. We'll sort of get into like the elephant of the room of Rex is like sort of how much he is like the one who is kind of like more aged up than Shulk kind of thing, by virtue of, I don't know, one, just by like his sort of physical changes, but then also you know, like he is less recognizable from like his initial appearance, and this one looks different, but I think it's just the glowing light. Yeah. But then he also has had a voice change as well, and I don't know why there was a voice change. I don't know if there's anything on the record. Voice changes happen for all kinds of reasons. They could have just been like, hey, the character looks really different now, so we want to have like a different voice. Maybe they tried the original guy and then they were like, no, he like sounds too young or something like that, so we'll get a different voice. Maybe he was unavailable, maybe he didn't want to do it. There's like a bajillion and one reasons why the original Rex voice actor like wasn't back for the DLC. But yeah, the original voice actor wasn't back for the DLC, so that was kind of noticeable as well. But the guy who took over, he did do a good job. You do still like notice the differences and stuff like that, because basically, for those who don't know, in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the protagonist is a kid called Rex, and he's like 16 years old or 16, 17 years old or something like that. And then but then, you know, in the Xenoblade 3 DLC, you know, he's sort of like kind of big and muscular and has kind of fit more into his role as like a hero. And you're not sure? No, okay. But then also like his, you know, he's got a new voice actor and his voice is just like sort of very different as well. Like now he kind of has more of like a man's voice than a boy's voice. But you do still notice like there are a couple of but here's the interesting thing, and I assume both Xander and Kevin and then all my other Xenoblade peeps will kind of feel the same thing I do as well. It's interesting, they had a couple of lines which were like throwback lines to things from like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but it's just sort of one of those things where you'd be like, wouldn't you like sort of really try and prioritize like, hey, like this has like a particular inflection and stuff, not to like criticize like the director or the actor or the production team or anything like that, but it was just kind of surprising that there were a couple of lines that were like sort of throwback lines, but they had like a really different like intonation or inflection or whatever kind of thing. So the main one that I would notice is in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, if you like sort of beat a bunch of enemies and you like sort of quote unquote won the fight, there would be you know, it's sort of the bit where like everyone gives themselves a pat on the back or whatever, or congratulates each other or compliments each other or whatever. And one of the things that Rex would say was he'd sort of be like, go on, praise us some more. Oh, go on, praise us some more then, or something like that kind of thing. You know, like, he likes, you know, sort of being praised or whatever. And for Rex in the Xenoblade 3 DLC, with his sort of new adult voice and stuff, he's like, go on, praise us some more. Like like it's just really different. It's just really different. You know, in the first it's like, go on then, praise us some more. Like it's kind of like this cheeky little, you know, sort of cheeky little kind of like encouragement kind of thing. Whereas yeah, for like 3 DLC Rex, it's like this just kind of like booming thingy majig. So basically, sort of because of how different Rex is, I do like new Rex, but I don't know, you know, kind of like sort of, so I think he probably, like him and Shulk are my favorites, but I don't know, but I don't know sort of how much I like new Rex compared to old Rex, quote unquote. Just because Shulk seems more kind of like how I remember him, whereas Rex does sort of feel a bit more new kind of thing. Even though, like, in reality, I think, like, in the original Xenoblade Chronicles, like, Shulk is supposed to be, like, 19 or 20, and then Rex is supposed to be, like, 16, 17, so there's not a whole load of difference between them, but Shulk sort of seems to fit the, like, his new adult role more. He's more recognizable in his, like, sort of aged-up role than Rex, but again, I think it is just because Shulk looks more the same, and he's got the same voice actor, so... but so let me know what like you guys thought about that change. But I still liked him, and he was really good, and he did do a good job. He did a good job with, like, you know, the story and like what the character needed to do and stuff like that. It was just a couple of those things where there was, like, say, some kind of throwback or reference, or like where you kind of be like, oh, well, in the other game he said it this way. Like, you do kind of notice that stuff a couple of times, but that's it. Right, how long do we have? 13 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna just check. They just wanted someone older. Is that actually, like, on the record that was out there? But yeah, like, I think you read on XenoWiki Rex was 14 in 2. I can't remember. That's thing. He could have even been something like that young, but I thought it was maybe like a low. I thought he was kind of like close to adulthood, but not quite. Which is, so I think it was sort of maybe a bit annoying when people would say, like, kind of call him a kid, because he was like, hey, I'm technically a kid, but almost an adult kind of thing. So yeah. But let's see. Back in time for Xenoblade talk. Akira's like, yay, back in time for Xenoblade. No, yeah. Cliffo, hi, welcome back. Welcome. And Oaks, hi, lovely to see you. So, okay, right, that's, okay. I just wanted to make sure I hadn't missed anyone or anything. Okay, we've got 13 minutes to spam more light pink and light blue hearts or something. Oh, can I tell you guys? I did like the kids in the DLC, but they were probably my least favorite characters. But again, that doesn't mean I disliked them. It just means that they were, like, my least favorite. I think, like, Shulk and Rex are my favorites, and then I really liked A. A was really cool, and then Matthew was then kind of, like, next favorite. Matthew, like I said last week, his voice kind of caught me off guard because it just, like, wasn't what I was expecting. But I did really like his personality and stuff. I liked the sort of, you know, the mix between that kind of, you know, sort of optimistic, determined, hopeful guy, but also just having enough of, like, a laid backness to be, like, funny and stuff like that. And yeah. So that's how I would rank them. And I did like that Glimmer was, like, a mixture of the two characters she needed to be the mixture of. She was, like, a really good... It's like, physically she looked like one, but personality-wise she was sort of like the other, and that was very good. And then I did like sort of some of the other characters and reference characters, or characters who linked back to other ones and stuff like that. Are you shiny, or are you just really weirdly lit? Okay. Come on, this is like a good nesting spot. Why haven't we got a shiny? Maybe I should, like, just ride around on Koraidon rather than walk around. Like, maybe that would be the quicker thing to do, but I don't want to. I want to take it slow and easy and make sure we don't constantly bump into moles as they dig in their holes. Okay. Let's see what we got here. So that's how I rank the characters, though. But see, just an interesting thing, though, because I've sort of talked about how I think personality-wise and voice-wise and stuff like that, I would be a good fit for, like, a Xenoblade protagonist someday. But I've also talked about how, you know... I mean, obviously it's, like, unlikely to happen because, like, they record it in England and I'm in America and all this other stuff. But additionally, even if that like wasn't an issue or whatever, there's still a bit of a thing where it's like, look, you only get like a new game every few years or so, and you know, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, you know, by the time that you know, that, and as well, because I was gonna say, like, Matthew, I'm like, in terms of what they want and what they went for with Matthew, I am not a good fit for like Matthew. Now Matthew was like DLC or whatever, but still, but like say I'm like not a good fit for Matthew, and although there are like elements of Rex where I feel like I'm sort of good for, and you know, I do like a, you know, sort of my like Rex impression, like, did somebody say salvage or whatever, you know, like, it's quite funny or whatever, but like, but still, it's one of those things where like, you know, I'm like a good fit for like a Shulk type of Xenoblade protagonist, and I'm a good fit for a Noah type of protagonist. I think Noah, again, it's been a long time since I've played one, so I can't remember all of Shulk's shulkiness, but like, but I feel, you know, Noah is definitely, you know, really up there as far as like a Beau Bridgeland Xenoblade protagonist kind of thing. But like, but that's the thing, and Shulk is as well. But then Rex is just like a little bit not quite me sort of thing, and like, and then if you look at like, say, something like Torna, I don't know, if you look at the characters in Torna, like maybe like Adam or something, maybe I'm kind of Adam-y. And then, but like Matthew is kind of like nah, I wouldn't like sort of get cast to like play a Matthew. Oh, Sylar, cat's going nuts, may need to deal with him in a minute. But like, I fed him right before the stream. There is no need for him to be unhappy or fussing or anything. So, but like a Matthew, I wouldn't be suited for. And if in like their next game they want like a Matthew like protagonist or something, or just a different kind of protagonist, you know, it could be like, well, then there's like a chance missed, and it's like, and if you only get that chance every like few years or something like that, it could get to a point where by the time like another protagonist comes along, where say like I'm a good fit for them and I could be on people's radars and stuff like that, I could like age out of it or something. I don't know, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's sort of one of those things where, and I live like halfway across the world from where they record it, so although it's something I would love, it's not something I'm gonna like stake my future on, because just because like there's so many factors out of your hands, and that's sort of the point I'm getting at. Like, it's good to have dreams and hopes and goals, and it's good to do things where you cut, like, you know, it's good to sort of plan out as much as you can do and look at all of the factors that are in your control whenever you are trying to accomplish anything in life, but like, don't like beat yourself up too much if things don't happen, or don't stake your hope on things definitely happening, because in life, because there are just so many things that are like out of your hands. It's why I don't really have specific like voice goals. In fact, I sort of did have one voice goal, and then that like sort of didn't happen, and you know, and that's like a whole thing that I may or may not talk about someday. But basically the point is that I don't have a whole load of like, I want to be Spider-Man someday, I want to be a Ninja Turtle someday, and I've sort of talked about this before, so I won't go off on it now. But like, but that's the thing. But with say like a video game franchise, that's like that is like a, you know, one of the reasons, because it's kind of like, but there's so many things out of your control. It's like, is the game they're making going to have a character that's like a good fit for you? It's like the games come along every, you know, a new game in a series comes along every like few years or something like that. So it's kind of like you can like miss cycles of things, you know? You know, like sort of if you see a video game coming out, like, you know, they may have been working on it for years. Like if someone's star is only just rising, you just got weird light, yeah. If someone's like star is rising, that might mean that for like this big shiny new game that comes out or whatever, they weren't on the person's radar when they were recording for it or whatever. So like you know, you missed this one, but maybe you'll get the next one. But then maybe when the next one comes, they won't like have a character for you or something like that, you know? So, hang on, the cat is going nuts. I'm just going to very quickly deal with it. So rude. Anyway, where were we? We can't control the world, only how we react to it. Exactly. So I hope it's a thing that will happen, but like it's just something. Okay, 5 minutes left. Oh, here we go, shiny. Pink stripe. Wait, where'd it go? 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 Don't run off! Don't run off! Naruto! Well, that was funny. Yes! Okay, sweet. Oh, I was gonna say, sorry, loads of things I want to say and then I don't say. Like, did I even say it was Ryan's birthday today? I hope I did. Because that was what I was meant to say at the bloomin' beginning. I'll talk about Ryan in a bit, I'm sure. But like, Droba, in Pokemon Sword, so in Pokemon Sword, right, there was like some trick that was like figured out or something. There was like some trick or exploit figured out where people could guarantee that they get a shiny, like on every raid den or something. There was this like very tedious process that people could go through, but they could like get a raid den, and then as long as they like saved their game properly and blah 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 blah, they could basically like just guarantee a shiny on like every single raid. And basically the raid dens in Sword and Shield would have like a preset bunch of Pokemon, so you could basically just like cycle through the raid den and like get a shiny, you know, every single one of the Pokemon that appears in that raid den. Or maybe people just hacked them as well, but there was like this weird sort of exploit where people could kind of guarantee a shiny on everyone, but then maybe people also like hacked the raid dens so that they were shiny. But what you would have, there was this period of time where you could go online, join a random raid den, and then and you could like sort of join someone's random raid and just think like, oh, I'm hunting for, oh cool, we're all gonna beat an Excadrill together, yay, fun. But then like it would be like a shiny Excadrill. But the thing with Pokemon Sword and Shield raids is, unlike the Scarlet and Violet ones, you weren't like guaranteed to catch the Pokemon if you defeated them. And like if you soloed a raid with only computer players, like offline, it was a guaranteed 100% capture. But if you played like with friends, it changed the odds. I can't remember like whether it was still guaranteed for the original person or under what circumstances it was guaranteed or not guaranteed. But I know that for like people guesting on a raid, like if you had been invited to a raid and you were participating in a raid as a guest, the Pokemon might have like its sort of regular catch rate. And if it had its regular catch rate, you only get to throw one Pokeball. So you had to hope that you would catch it in your one Pokeball. And so I did a raid for an Excadrill that turned out to be shiny. I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I think I got like a shiny Rotom from someone like doing the exploit kind of thing. So then I joined this other raid and like got this shiny Excadrill. And I was like so excited. I was like so excited, and we won the raid, we won it, and then I got to throw my Pokeball at it, and I like threw like a repeat ball at it because I already had Excadrill in my Pokedex, so it was like the best Pokeball I could use. Possible exception for Dusk Ball, but I never really like fully trust Dusk Balls, except in like older games. And it like shook a couple of times and it broke out. And it's one of the few times I've encountered a shiny and then not captured it. And it really sucked. And like ever since, I have wanted an Excadrill ever since, but I've never got it. So yeah, so that sucks. And yeah, so I'm glad I got Droba now, but I need to get another one in the next 1 minute. Or we need to do another sandwich in a minute to try and get one. So if you want me to just do another Droba hunt, because this has been quite a nice, relaxing one in all honesty. If you're cool with me doing another Droba, then we'll maybe do another Droba hunt in a minute. I would kind of love to do a steel type sandwich, because then we could focus just on Excadrill. But the thing is, then we would get a load of Magnemites, and we don't want that. So, whereas here, we're only getting Droba and Excadrill by doing this ground type sandwich. So, so though I'd love to specifically get, like, an Excadrill, I don't think trying to single them out is the way to go. Right, the timer's up because I'm seeing a Magneton and... Oh no, actually maybe it's not up just yet. Hang on, we'll go this way and we'll see what spawns. I think this is probably it now, surely. Surely. There's a tiny... Okay. Yeah, no, there's Drillbur. Okay, Chespin. Right, if we've seen Chespin, that's it. Sandwich is done. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do another Drillbur. Let's try and get Drillbur and Excadrill. Excadrill. Sorry, I almost keep saying Excadrill rather than Excadrill. But yes. Sorry, I also didn't... If I did not say this at the beginning of the stream, because I was meant to, I said it's a very special birthday, and then I saw Lexi had posted it in the chat, and then I think I thought I'd, like, read it out, but then I'd be like, yep, that's right. But then I actually don't know whether I then ended up saying it or not. So if I did not say it, yes, today is a special birthday. It is one of my very best friends in the whole world, Ryan Bartley, the voice actor of Ryan Bartley. She is celebrating her birthday today because it's her birthday. Sorry, I didn't know how to finish that sentence. But it's her birthday today. She's been in loads of stuff. If you guys know Ryan, let me know your favorite Ryan roles in the chat. If you are a fan of Ryan, let me know what Ryan roles you like. Okay, let's see. Okay. Yeah, let's do another ground sandwich. And then Ryan's been in a whole bunch of like anime and video games. And also Ryan's like one of my most kind of like what I would call like legit or like pro voice actor friends, just because like she really has like done like everything kind of thing. So you know, like many of our friends and stuff, like yeah, she's done like anime and video games, but then she's also done like commercials and promos, and she like loops on movies, so she's like in all these movies and stuff like that, like in the credits of like all these movies and stuff, and like had some like recognizable and iconic little like lines and moments kind of thing. You know, that you kind of be like, you can be like, oh, that was Ryan there, and you're like, oh, I love that bit, you know, and stuff like that. So yeah, but and she's just like a wonderful person as well, and just you know, I kind of met her fairly early into my American adventures, and she's just been like a really incredible and supportive friend, and I'm really lucky to have her as a friend. Right, spicy. We did spicy before. That worked. So let's see. Kevin likes the Hunter. Excellent. Skywatcher. Hi, Beau. How many shinies have you gotten so far? We actually need to do a count, don't we? Because I cannot remember. We just got like either like our third or fourth or something, I want to say. But I genuinely can't remember. Hang on, can I know I'm making this sandwich differently. In fact, I'm already making it differently because I'm already messing. Yeah, I'm already messing this up. This is very silly of me. One, two. This. Do not make your sandwich this way, children. Okay. Onion. I actually can't even see the onion. Right, hang on. We have to put the bread over here. I like legit don't know if this sandwich is any good or not because of how bright this light is. So yeah, Hunter x Hunter, and then Hikari and so she's in the new Digimon. She's not. I don't think she's in like any like really old Digimon. But yeah, Alistar in Sword and Shield. Yes, that's a good one. You love Madoka. I remember from Magia Record as Sana. Nice. Should not need sunglasses to sandwich make. I know, right, Zach? Looks like you're making a sandwich during a supernova. I know. Right, sparkling title encounter. And here's the funny thing, right? If we get this drill bar now, right? So if we get another drill bar, and then it's like, oh, we've got another drill bar. Like, okay, we're finished. What do we get? We can then just go back and try and get Diglets again. So yeah. So that's funny. Well, so basically, we'll call this our penultimate sandwich hunt, I think. So we'll do this sandwich hunt, and then we'll do one after this, and then I think we'll call that it for today. Okay? Okay, so let's see what we got, though. We'll probably now get this in, like, 2 seconds. Light pink and light blue hearts, please, in the chat. But anyway, Buck. So yeah, so it's Ryan's birthday today. So I hope she just has an absolutely amazing day, because she's brilliant and she deserves it. Okay, so, but I'm sorry that I am only just sort of really getting into that now. Lots of other things to talk about and get distracted by or whatever. But I thought at the beginning I at least did say it was like her birthday. I know I said like it's a very special someone's birthday today, but then Lexi said it and I thought I had said like, yep, it's Ryan's birthday. So I thought I'd at least said that. But if I didn't say like it's Ryan's birthday, I'm so sorry, because I thought I had said that. I meant to say that, and then I was like, I'll gush it. I thought I'd said like, and then I'll gush about Ryan later, I'm sure. Like I thought I'd said that. So, but if I didn't even say that, if I just imagined that I'd got that far, then I apologize profusely. Okay. So let's see what we got here. Gerber, the name should know. Blue stripe, blue stripe, blue stripe. This isn't the most obvious thing. I do feel like you have to still kind of go up to them and inspect them a bit and stuff like that, but still. And when the light is weird on them, even though it's like, well, I'm pretty sure the light's just showing me a load of blue. Still. It's funny because those colors that people have posted, at least how they appear on my screen, they look very much like the sort of West Ham colors for anyone who is familiar with English football. Also, you could say like Burnley and Aston Villa. But yeah, just the sort of claret and blue look. But anyway. Right. I'm not just going to look at each of these and go, right, for like half an hour. We will actually talk about things. But yeah, so that's Xenoblade and Ryan and lots of other things. And but yeah, so I'm actually taking a bit of a break from gaming for a few days outside of, you know, streaming, obviously, because this is fun. But yeah, I actually haven't like played any well, actually no, that's a bit of a lie, because there was like the Empoleon raid and stuff like that. But and I might do some shiny hunting in the next few days for like some of these things that I want to look at like up close or whatever. You know, like I might do like the Solosis shiny hunt or whatever, because that's one I won't do on stream. But yeah, but still. But yeah, but still. But there is this. But I'm sort of, at the minute, I just want to, because basically before Christmas, I got a memory card for my Switch, because, dang, like, updates for games and stuff are just so huge. And even though I had a Switch OLED, which has, like, twice as much memory, and I thought that would cover, like, every game I ever need, and, like, all of its DLC and updates and stuff like that. But no, not really. because I got ukulele in the impossible lair, and I kind of was, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna have enough memory for that. So I kind of purchased it and then like got a memory card, and so I could actually like download this game. And it was a game that I sort of actually only ended up finding okay, which is funny. But the thing is that if ukulele didn't tip me past the max memory stage, the Xenoblade DLC would have. So like it's fine. But yeah, but it was kind of like, well, I'm getting these games, and they all have these like updates, and a bunch of them have updates for like several gigs and stuff like that. So I was like, I better just get a memory card, and so I did that. But a really nice added benefit of it is now when I take screenshots and videos, they just go straight to the memory card. And before, what I used to have to do, was I would like sort of take screenshots and videos and stuff, and then like almost like right after every play session or before my next play session, I would have to like manually look through and look at like what I wanted to keep and what I wanted to get rid of, and then I'd have to manually scan like each one like to my phone, and it just kind of sucked. And it was really annoying, and now it's sort of cool because it's like, cool, I can actually just take screenshots and videos as I play a game, and then once I'm done with like the whole game, not just a single play session, I can then go through my screenshots and see what I want to keep, if I'm going to keep anything. And it's nice as well because I actually am going to probably not copy over as many images as I would normally, because like this time, have a sip of water, Beau. Because this time, you know, like when you sort of get to look at like your whole gameplay experience rather than just like, you know, a single play session, you get to kind of like, you have a better sense of like what's valuable and what's not. So like, for example, there were like because I'm kind of currently going through my Xenoblade 3 stuff to see what's worth keeping. I'm also going to try and see if I can just copy it to my laptop, rather than manually copy them all to my phone, but we'll see how that goes. But like, I'm sort of going through my Xenoblade 3 footage, and there are like some sort of like bosses I beat where I was kind of like, yay, I beat them with a chain attack kind of thing. And so I like captured the like the end of the battle, but it's basically just like 30 seconds of a chain attack. It doesn't really matter. Like, there's not like the boss afterwards is cutscene or anything like that. It's basically just 30 seconds of a chain attack, and then like the screen going to black before a cutscene of like the boss being like, "No, I've failed," or whatever kind of thing. So, you know, it's this weird thing where, like, you know, obviously when I beat that boss or whatever, I'm like, yeah, I beat a boss, and like, that was a good chain attack. And like, but now I'm like, you know, now I know what a good chain attack is. So it's like, no, that wasn't. Like, I'm not gonna, I don't want to watch this back or anything. Like, this is terrible. Like, I've done way better chain attacks since this one. So it's quite nice, actually. Like, where in the past I would have just like had a bunch of videos of like chain attacks where I only did a few thousand damage, or I couldn't interlink yet or anything like that. Now I kind of like have my way better chain attacks from like at the end of the game, where I like genuinely know like, oh, that was quite a good chain attack, that one's good having a little clip of. But yeah, so it's just sort of funny, the things you think are good in like the earlier parts of a game versus near the end. What is, oh, selfie stick. I thought that was something like flying around him, and but like, no, it was a selfie stick. Okay. Come on, Droba. How long have we been doing this? A bit less than 10 minutes. Okay. Not the end of the world, but I would like this Droba soon. I don't want it to get too close to the end. Because I am a bit worried about how I'm a bit worried about, like, you know, if we end up pushing it for time or having to reset or anything. If we have to reset, we will just do Drillbur a third time. I do apologize. But this is like quite a chill, a nice one. And I didn't know that we were going to get a shiny hunt like this nice out of the ones we have left. So, well, actually, no, we could maybe hunt for something else. Like, maybe we could hunt for, like, Oddish or something. And then we could save, like, the chill drill bub for, like, next week or something. Actually, no, we'll do something like that. But that's only if we don't get Drillbur, which isn't going to happen, because we are going to get Drillbur, so it's fine. Okay. Just got to keep an eye out. That's all we got to do. Like, they're out there. We just got to make sure we can see them. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm just going to check on chat for a sec, and then we'll see what happens. Once had a character fall off cliff during chain attack, left stunned, not knowing what's going to happen. Next thing you know, you got teleported away. Oh no. But yes. Nope. Chansey's Chansey Community Day is tomorrow, and yeah, you're good. You're good. Oh, the enemy, like, had to respawn? Yeah, I think I've had that kind of a thing. Oh, my gosh, sorry. Oh, yawning. This is entertaining, I promise. Okay, so, what else? Yeah, so I am just taking a break. I'm just going to, like, I'm going to go through my pictures and stuff, and then just see what's worth keeping and what's not from Xenoblade and from Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. And then I might see if I can, like, connect them to my laptop. I don't know how much space is on my laptop, so I might have to sort of then immediately get them off the laptop onto something else. But I just, if I have like loads of videos to do, I just don't want to, like, manually, like, scan them one by one into my phone like I normally do. You know, if I have like over 100 videos or something, which between the two games is very possible, actually, then it might just be like, I wonder if I can plug this into my laptop. My laptop's not huge, but maybe it can handle it. We'll see. I might need to just get some kind of storage drive, because that would also help with my like Google account is running out of space. So it's like I do need to, like, get stuff off of Google and put it onto, like, a hard drive anyway. So maybe now is when I need to bite the bullet and do that. Oh, we'll see. Because it's really annoying. I don't know if any of you guys have been impacted by it, but basically at, like, some point last year, it was in April or something, Google always used to have, like, you have, like, a 15 gig limit for, like, emails and Google Drive. And then, like, your Google Photos was free. Or it was, like, very, very, like, condensed for certain file types, like videos or something. But, like, just regular photos, the regular photos you take, they, like, just automatically get backed up, like, to the cloud. They were all backed up for, like, free. Like, no, they didn't use up any of that 15 gig storage. But in, like, April of last year or something, Google changed that. And so ever since, it's like, oh, that number's getting up pretty close to the 15, because it's like, oh, I'm taking, like, cat pictures, or, you know, or just pictures of my food that I then never post to social media or whatever it is, you know. But yeah, in like the last, you know, but like 6 months later, it was just like, well, I'm almost full. And luckily I found, like, a bunch of emails and stuff that were, like, huge, that was like, oh, I don't need this. This is, like, really old stuff. But, you know, but then I kind of have, like, filled up, like, twice more, and I just don't really know. I don't really know what fat I have to trim now. Like, I don't have anything I can just, like, outright. I don't really have a whole lot of stuff I can just outright delete. Like, I have stuff that I can move. I can totally move stuff elsewhere. But I don't know if I can, but I don't think I really have anything to, like, flat out delete, you know. Because I have, like, say, loads of, like, Audition and audio files on my Google Drive from like, years ago. Like basically every audition I've done here in America up to say like a year or two ago, I have on like my Google Drive, and then the other stuff I just have, it's kind of just on like my roommate's computer, which I record my auditions on. But that's the thing, I'm kind of getting to that point where I would normally back up and copy those things, but I haven't done it because I don't have the Google storage space. So, but I do kind of want to keep it's just one of those things where it might be easier for me to buy a big, like, terabyte hard drive thing. It might be easier for me to like do that than to start doing the Google that's all, folks. Before doing like the Google storage subscription, because I don't really want to have to do the Google storage subscription if I can avoid it. And I know it's like, well, yeah, but if you're still paying money for storage, why not do the Google thing? And it's like, well, I don't know. I just don't like the idea that someday I'll be above it and I'll basically just have to keep paying for it for like the rest of my life, kind of thing, and that like literally I won't be able to have a functioning Google account without the storage. So if I can kind of find a way to actually keep the storage, I want to see if I can keep the cloud storage below 15, and if it becomes inevitable that I have to do the Google thing, then fine. But maybe I might like try and see if I can like back up photos onto a hard drive instead of my Google Drive or something, or videos or whatever. But at the same time, it is nice having that like that easy storage and stuff. Like if you're on your phone and you're looking for like some old picture, like, oh, where was that old picture of that thing that I took a picture of? Like you can like pick, I can type in like cat, and then it will have like all the cat pictures I've taken. I don't need to label them or anything. So I don't know. We'll see. It'll probably be an inevitable thing, but I do want to get in some situation where even if I'm like relying on like extra Google storage space, I like the idea that I am not totally lost without it, that I do have a way of like, okay, well, I can just back up my photos onto this hard drive or something like that. I wouldn't want to be in a position where like all my stuff gets locked or frozen. Just because like, if I had something where it's like, I change credit cards and then like, and then it's like, oh, your card payment didn't go through, but your storage is full, so you can't use your Google account essentially because like you're over 15 gigs, but you haven't paid for more than 15 gigs. Then that's not great. So I kind of want to be in a position where if I ever did need to just suddenly like get under 15 gigs, I would have a way to do that. Like I could just be like, right, I'm getting rid of all my pictures, kind of thing, or whatever. Does that make sense? Like I want to be in a position where even if I am using Google's online storage someday, if I ever don't want to, or I can't, or whatever, that it can just kind of it can just very quickly be remedied and resolved and whatever. So hopefully that makes sense. Don't really know how I got onto that topic. But oh no, because I was talking about Switch pictures and stuff. But yeah, it's just sort of awkward with like the Switch and stuff, because yeah, I'd love to just have all that stuff like online on the cloud, but I might need to have it on a terabyte thing. So hey Lexi, good to see you. Boop. Let's see. Hang on. Akira says external hard drive is your best friend. That's thing. Apart from like the lack of the searching kind of functionality, like it really is kind of like the better way. Used to do storage sub thing, but you kept running out of space. Resorted to a 1 terabyte hard drive. That's thing. I might look at like prices and stuff. Like I might only need like a 500 gig one or something, or 250 or whatever. But I might look into something like that. But yes. Okay. Right. Let's see. Come on. How long have we got left on this thing? 12 minutes? 12 minutes? Oh, gosh. If we do Oddish, I just need to... The only problem is if we do try and finally go for, like, the Fabled Oddish, The problem is it's really tough because it's like, do you go with a grass sandwich or do you go with a poison sandwich? Because if you go with a poison sandwich, you're likely to get a load of Grimers appear, Alolan Grimers appear. But if you do the grass sandwich, you might get a load of other stuff that like Exegutors and stuff like that, which is the problem. So I don't, and the other thing about Oddish is I don't really know the best place where Oddish spawns. I know it spawns in like the hot terrarium location, like that I understand, but I don't know. I don't know though. But I don't really know the best way to hunt for them. So I mean, maybe we could hunt for something else instead. It's like, we don't have to do Oddish. You could figure out Oddish like next week, and then, you know, you could do something different this week. But come on, where are these Drillburs? Just want my Drillbur, man. I just want my second Drillbur. I know that sounds greedy, but like, you gotta get 2 of them. So I kind of just would like. We haven't always had the. I feel like one thing with this series of streams I've been doing, I feel like we haven't had the best of luck with if I've like needed 2 of something, we haven't had the best of luck. Say like getting 2 of them. There was one thing like Dupida. Dupida was one where we needed to get like 2 of them, and we got 2 of them. But I don't think we've really had that with other stuff like Cottony. We needed 2 of them. We only got 1. And in fact, we had to do 2 shiny hunts to get, like, that 1. Drillbur, we've only got, like, 1 of them. Tyrogue, we needed 2 of them. We did eventually get 2, but that was, like, 2 in separate hunts, you know? Like, we didn't get 2 in one go. And again, like, we've got enough of these fellas spawning. Like, there's not really any reason for them to not spawn. Yeah. And it's just a bit hard with the lighting as well. You sort of sometimes see them. It's like, oh, the nose looks light, but is it a light pink or is it a light blue? So, and to be honest, I kind of forgot what the first one looked like. So, like how it distinguished itself from the rest of the cave and the rest of the Drillburs, so I don't really know how obvious it was. We kind of just bumped into it. It's like, oh, shiny, and then that was kind of it. So we'll see. Bigger Jeff, hi, lovely to see you. Kevin, thank you so much. See you later. Thank you for helping with that raid. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Glad to talk to you about Xenoblade and stuff as well. But yeah, so next on my list is Persona. Not Persona 3, which I know is like the sort of Persona 3 Reload is like the current hot new item from the Persona series. But I've never played Persona 5 or Persona 5 Royal. And so that's the game I'm going to play. Unless, of course, I've got the wrong one. Unless I've got like Strikers or something. Oh no, what if I got the wrong one? But no, but Persona 5 Royal, I believe that's the one I have. And that's like the sort of the remake one or the enhanced version one. Which is really cool. I'm really excited about it. But yeah, but I am just going to take a bit of a break before I hop into it. Like, I might even wait until like Friday, like after my session. And I might get home and like just get a little bit of food and like relax and then play some Persona 5 for the first time. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I might end up starting it earlier in the week. Like if I search through my Xenoblade videos and Fire Emblem videos today or tomorrow or something, and then I am able to just copy them over to the computer and be like, oh, that was quick, easy, and anticlimactic, or whatever, then I might be in a position where I'm like, oh, well, I've got, like, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or whatever, or, like, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Do I really want to wait a few more days to play it? But, you know, we'll see. But I might just wait until I, you know, get my next session out of the way. Because I don't seemingly have anything scheduled for the earlier part of the week, but that's the thing I could do as well. So it might just be something where if I know I've got a session at the end of the week, that I might kind of want to prepare for and stuff like that during the week, then I might want to just like hold off until I've got that out of the way and that it's done and stuff like that. And then yeah, we can kind of take it from there. So Persona 5, Lexi is like, and Akira as well. So yeah, I'm really excited to play it at long last because I've got lots of friends in it, and you know, people say it's a good game, and I think it'll probably be something that I really, really enjoy, and then I'll probably be really, really gutted that Persona 3 Reload isn't available on Nintendo, but then in like 5 years, there'll be like the Nintendo Switch 2, and they'll have it on that, and then they'll have like an enhanced version that will be out on that, and then like it'll be fine. So yeah, but yeah, that's next in the pipeline. And then I think I like kind of half talked about this a bit, but then I sort of started talking about it, and then would like stop and like interrupt myself, or I get distracted by something, or something would happen. And I don't know if I really laid out my plan for this year game-wise, like more personally. So, you know, I wanted to get my Christmas and birthday games out the way, which I've sort of done with, you know, Xenoblade 3 is like done now. And I think I was going to say about that, I don't know if and how I'll ever go back to that. I don't know if I'll ever like replay that again, because I played it through in such like a big way. Like I did so many side quests and stuff like that. I don't know if I ever really like need to like do the whole game again or whatever in the future. Like I'd only do it if it was like on stream. I would only kind of play the game if it was on stream, I think. But I think if I ever wanted to go back to it personally, I have enough side quests and stuff like that where I could just hop in it and be like, I'm going to do some side quests, I'm going to do some challenge battles, I'm going to whatever. Whereas with like 1 and 2, I do want to replay those. And that's kind of where I think one of my plans for this year comes into it. If things go okay money-wise and stuff like that, if I saw Xenoblade 1 for cheap, like if I saw it for like $40, I would be tempted to get it and play it through. Like once I'm done with Persona, I'm not playing it like whilst I'm playing Persona. Persona, I'm going to just focus on solely and singularly, and I'm not going to juggle it with any other games like I did with all these games at Christmas and stuff like that. But yeah, so I'm going to do Persona 5. I want that to just be like my game for a while. But then once I'm done with it, it is like, oh, what do I do? And it's like, we've got Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door remake coming this year. I'm definitely going to get that and play that through right away. And maybe that could be a good game to do on stream someday, because I've played that game through a few times. So it'll be fun to play again, but then it might be fun to play again after that, live on Saturdays. But yeah, and then so that's like, you know, that is certainly one thing. You're pink, aren't you? Yeah, okay, this is shiny. I was like, wait, what am I looking for again? And it was like, it's the pink body, right? There we go! We did it! Nice. There we go. Nice stuff. Persona 5 was your first Persona game and you love it so much. I think it's probably a lot of people's first games, because it's kind of the one that like really kind of like blew up the franchise. So, there we go. We did it. So we'll evolve this fella in a minute. How long do we have left? 4 minutes. Okay, chat, would you mind if I just very quickly nipped to the loo, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so hang on. Oh, hang on. What do I... Yeah. Okay, so hi everyone, welcome back. So we are back, and we are back with people who look like things. If you understood that reference, kudos. We're going to hunt for some Diglett Dig, Trio. If we end up getting a Diglett here, maybe this is the point where we stop the stream. But yeah. 3 was Zarda's first, and you're so happy it got remade. Excellent. No, it sort of sounds like it, you know, was like a good one to like get remade and stuff like that, and I'm glad. I'm glad that people are enjoying it and that it's got good reviews and stuff like that, and there are lots of lovely friendos in it. So that's cool as well. Right, okay, hang on, here we go. Right, let's see. What are the odds that like we get like a blue-nosed dog trio, eh? Okay. So right, this is I know which one to go down because it's got this block here in the wall. So that's why I know which path to go down. But yes. Okay, I think this is probably good. So we only got a couple of minutes, and the Diglets don't spawn hugely, so I don't know how... I don't know if this will really yield us anything, but hey, it's worth trying. We're going to be optimistic. But we got the Droba. That's the important thing. If we don't get... we can... In fact, actually, if we don't get Diglett right now, we can easily, like, aim for it next week. Do you know what I mean? Like, we can easily... hunt for Diglett like next week, and then maybe we could hunt for Skarmory, and then with whatever time we have left we could try and get another Diglett. Again, I know I keep saying this, but I could have sworn I had a shiny Diglett in Pokemon Go, and in fact maybe I need to look it up on my Pokemon Go and see what, like, you know, what I had or something like that on my shiny Pokedex in Pokemon Go. But yeah, and then don't forget Community Day tomorrow for anyone playing. And, yeah. So, right. Righty-ho. Right, let's see what we got. But yeah, they're all regular Diglets. They're all regular. Oh, so hang on. I was talking about my year in gaming and stuff. So I want to do Persona. That'll probably take me a couple of months or whatever. But then, and then it sort of depends on what, like, the Nintendo schedule is, really. Like, if Paper Mario isn't coming out in, like, the sort of summer or spring or whatever, then I might be in a position where I'm like, oh, you know, maybe, and if I had the money, then I could be like, well, maybe I could, like, get another game or something. So in addition to Paper Mario, the 2 main things I want this year are, I would love to get Xenoblade 1 Definitive to play that again, and then I would like to get the Fire Emblem Engage DLC because I never got that, and I'd love to. The thing I kind of wanted to do with Engage, although it's kind of it's harder now that I haven't played the game for a year. I don't know how well this would go, but like, I'd like to get the DLC, but instead of just playing the new levels on my original save file... Oh, crud, hang on. Okay, I actually did get away. I was like, wait, you've got to KO it, Beau? You had your whole lecture about why you need to KO them or whatever. There are so many Diglets in this cave, I need to, like, literally get them out the way so I can actually proceed. Oh no, Gothita? Gothita! Oh, that's not good. Hang on, why are you not attacking the Gothita? Don't tell me the Gothita's shiny. That's not shiny. No, that's not shiny. I know what Gothita looks like shiny. That's not shiny. How long do we have? Okay, no, so that is it. Okay, so... Okay, so we've got 1 shiny hunt left. Just 1. Oh, there's a Gothitelle or whatever. Okay, so we've got 1 shiny left. We'll try and figure out very quickly what that shiny is going to be, and then we'll get on and do it. Who do we need? So hang on. So we need another Cottony, and we also need like Comfey. Comfey will be quite a hard one, but it's not impossible. Oddish, but that is the only poison type we need. But we do need 4. We need 3 of them. We need 3 Oddishes because we have Blossom. We have plenty of Blossom. And then so maybe it could be worth doing a grass type sandwich and just hoping for like Oddish or Cottony. I mean, we'll probably end up getting Exeggutor, but still. We do still need Joltik, but again, that's the only bug type we need. And we don't need we don't need that, actually. So, yeah. I think next time we'll maybe try hunting for Skarmory. And then, I think next time we'll maybe hunt for Skarmory. And then we can, like, use any extra time we have to try and get a Diglett. But I think maybe today, we do go for Oddish now. Let me look on Cerebi and see where the heck Oddish is, because I think that it might not be a bad idea to look up where the heck Oddish is. So hold on, let's go Oddish, Cerebi, 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 Cerebi. If you understood that reference, kudos. That's a Gen 8 Oddish Pokedex. That's why it's not showing up. Gen 9. So it should be easy enough-ish to find. It's just the question is, where, oh where? Okay, so they are more northern. Okay, they're more sort of northernly or whatever. So they're not near, like, the beach or anything. Okay. So if we go, like, here. This is annoying because we are going to get so many Exeggutors. So, hang on, I'm just going to pause quickly whilst I have some water. Satella, thank you so much for joining. I really, really appreciate it. But I was talking about Fire Emblem Engage DLC, didn't I? But when I played Fire Emblem Engage, it had so many characters in it. I was like, oh, this game is like very designed, quote unquote, very sort of like intended for you to play using the classic mode instead of the wuss mode, as I call it. But yeah, but you're kind of like, they kind of like almost encourage you to have like the permadeath mode on. And so it's interesting because, it is interesting because when I sort of played it, I was very tempted to be like, oh, should I do like a permadeath playthrough in the future? Because the main game was fantastic, but like if I did like the permadeath one, that actually could be quite fun. And I've never done a permadeath in Fire Emblem before. So, oh, hang on a minute. I don't want to do that. I'm doing a grass sandwich. Oh, this is why I didn't want to do a grass sandwich. Because I need to use one of my salt, don't I? Okay, so we're using the Kevin pick, and we'll see what happens. Right. Oh, there we go. A little bit slanted, but that's okay. This music is catchy. It's one of those sort of like annoying but catchy, so you kind of like it secretly musics. Okay, so but yeah, I do think maybe doing that playthrough of Fire Emblem, but with the DLC and like get the extra characters and stuff. That could be a fun one. I don't know if I would go back to my original file and get the DLC characters or anything, or whether I'd just do it all in a new playthrough. I don't know. Sparkling title encounter. So that was all 3. Well, that was the main 2, right? The sparkling and encounter. Okay, nice. So let's see. Okay, so we've got Cottonies and Glooms. Gloom is just green, right? Hang on. I now need to look up what the heck a Gloom looks like. I mean, I know what a Gloom looks like, but I mean shiny Gloom. Yeah, they're just green. So everything's green that I'm looking for. I'm just looking for like green body. The head will be a bit less orange or more orange or something. But I can get rid. Oh, I can get rid of Drillbur and Excadrill from my picture reference now. Huzzah! Still got Blitzel there just in case we see a Blitzel. But, yeah. Okay. Excelente. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. But then we'll get the Odisha. We'll get an Odisha. Cha-cha-cha. Okay. So cool. So hang on. What we'll just do very quickly, we'll just get my old mate Ceruledge in here. I got this Ceruledge for like, I was like, that could be kind of useful for raids or whatever. I never use it for raids, but I use it for like the quick attack because it runs around. It's the only other thing that I found that's kind of like as fast as Meowscarada when it like runs around KOing things. So, but look, so here's like Cottony and like here's an Oddish. So Oddish is going to be kind of hard to see, but we'll try. But there are so many there are so many potential shinies here that, like, you know, are not the one we're after, which is why I'm kind of terrified. And then we've just got, like, this random Oricorio, which is just, what even are you? I don't know if running around might help, because maybe you're going to be the one that saves me. No, but maybe, though. But it's one of those things where if we ran around, maybe we could get like clusters of 5. But I don't really know if like Oddish appears in clusters of 5. Maybe only things like Deerling do or whatever. So, yeah. So we'll have to see how it goes. Hang on. So for some reason, I thought one of those Exeggutor was yellow. I was really paranoid that one of those Exeggutor was going to look up and it was going to be yellow. But it wasn't, so it's fine. I did get a random Alolan Exeggutor shiny that was yellow one time. I just turned around and there it was, and I was like, oh, okay, brilliant, and there we go. So, okay. Let's just check chat quickly, and then people seem to be tired. I do apologize for being boring. But then we will, but this is our last hunt of the day, so we just need that one final burst of energy. Chat, could you do green hearts and leaves for me, please, as shiny? I know that kind of applies to most grass types anyway, so that will probably just lead to us getting the wrong shiny grass type, but if we can get Cottony or Oddish, this will be legend. Wait for it, dairy. But we'll have to see. We will have to see. There are no grass types appearing here. Well, no, there's Gloom here. That's kind of cool. 5 Gloom. And there's an Oddish. And these trees look just like shiny Alolan Exeggutors, which is fun. That's fun. Thank you, game. That's a lot of fun. That's not terrifying or anything. That's not terrifying, game. Not at all. Not at all. Okay. Anyway, Bark. Right, let's get you back, Ceruledge, and let's just see what happens if we run this way. Shearbowtooth. Then again, you work for a hospital, and the first part of the year is full of assessments, so super tired. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, no, Shearbowtooth. Because I think you hopped in a bit later, right? You might have missed me sort of say that I've just weirdly had, I don't know, like a bit of like a hard week. Like it's sort of just been a lot, even though I've not strictly had a lot, and it just ended up, because I sort of talked about this anxiety that I'd had a couple of weeks ago that I'll try not to keep bringing up because I'm trying to move past it, but I just don't really know how best to tackle it, like in terms of like ignoring it, talking about it, whatever. But like sort of last week, so like not the one we're sort of kind of technically still in, but like, oh crud, but like last week though, it's like I'd kind of got to this place where I had sort of got very, like, I still have like loads of like swirling thoughts like just constantly, but I don't have the like sort of anxious feeling in like my heart or my chest or anything like that. Like I don't feel like I have like a poison or knots in my heart or my chest or my stomach or anything like that. I feel I'd feel very relaxed, but I just had like loads and loads of racing thoughts. So that was kind of where I was at with things, and I was like, well, that's not great, but it's better. It's definitely better than before. But then this week I actually have sort of kind of gotten a bit anxious again, kind of thing. Like I actually have had that kind of, you know, the feeling as well as the thoughts. And one of the problems as well is that I think if I get things that kind of are a bit stressful, where I get a bit stressed, it's like sort of by having the symptoms of anxiety, even if my anxiety is caused by something else, like, oh, I'm a bit stressed because I got, you know, like, oh, I've got this gig this week and I got to make sure I get there on time and I'm ready to do it and all this other stuff. You know, so if I get a bit nervous about something, it's like then like the anxiety creeps back in. It's like, no, just because I'm like, just because I've got like, say, like a higher heart rate or whatever because of this one thing doesn't mean you can like, it's like, no, they're bonded now. Like, they're bonded now. Like, whenever you have a high heart rate, you're going to start thinking of all these things that made you anxious a few weeks ago. And it's like, no, don't do that. Please, like, don't. Just don't. But this week was just weirdly hard. Like, the weather's been kind of rubbish and stuff like that. Like, that doesn't help. Sarah Lidge, what are you doing? Like, it's not... Yeah, just attack it. It's fine. So, I don't know. It's just, but like this week just ended up being weirdly even though I didn't have like a bajillion and one things to do, this week still just ended up being kind of tough and hard and stuff like that. And I think maybe the weather was a bit of that for me, and that I did have a few things this week, like even though I wasn't like packed to the walls, I constantly always had like, you know, where I got to keep my mind on this next thing, and then I got to keep my mind on this next thing, and this next thing, and yeah, you know, so yeah, just maybe it's just kind of like a bit hard for everyone, but obviously, like with your work that you do, that sounds like it's just genuinely as well. In addition to it just being sort of like harder than average, like anyway, bark, but being tougher than normal. You then have this sort of added pressure of, yeah, but then I actually also have like stuff because of my work, like this, like something about this time of year is tough, but then also like my work is tough at this time of year too, and so that really sucks, and I'm sorry, but I do appreciate you being here. So okay, let's see, an Exeggutor. Oh, we're so gonna get a yellow Exeggutor. I remember in Pokemon Go when I first got a shiny Alolan Exeggutor, like there was like some, you know, it was like a research reward, or they were in raids or something. I can't really remember, but there was basically a thing where like one appeared, or no, I think they were even just appearing a lot in the wild, and like I tapped on one, and it was shiny, and then I think I was like, oh my gosh. This is like, oh my gosh, Alolan Exeggutor, this is like really like rare and tough, because the only way for me to get one of these otherwise would be to do like, you know, SOS in Pokemon Sun and Moon or something like that. You know, like I didn't want to do that. So that was kind of like, oh my gosh, this is like a really like tough shiny to get. You know, this like this is probably like in like late 2022 or something like that. So a bit over a year ago. And but I was like, oh my gosh, this is like amazing. What like a rare and fortuitous shiny. And then they had like some other Alolan Exeggutor thing. I think that this one was like, it appeared in like a research reward or something, you know. And then I got another one, and I was like, okay, like cool, but you know, I do have one of these now. I mean, I had transferred my other to my Pokemon Home, so at least I have one for Pokemon Go now. At least I guess that's kind of cool. But then I like got one randomly in this game, as I said. Like I was just wandering around the Terranium. I think it was when I was like doing raids in the Terranium like every day, and like yeah, I ended up getting this like another shiny Alolan Exeggutor. It's like, well, I'd already like transferred one into my games, and I already got another one for Pokemon Home. You know, I already got one like transferred into like my games / Pokemon Home, and I already have one that I like now leave in Pokemon Go, and then now I've got like another one, which, you know, very first world problem, but still, but it's just one of those things where you feel like you have your luck, and you're like, why is my luck being used on this thing where I don't need luck, you know? And then you get in all in that headspace and stuff, and then you feel like, no, what if I've like used up all my luck, and now I never get like a shiny again or whatever. So what are you doing, Sarah Ledge? Go get it. So yeah, so that's a funny old thing. but still, it's fine. So let's see what we've got. A bunch of executes. Oh, so I need to yawn. Oh, I think I have just been a bit tired this week as well, maybe. It all doesn't help. It's just a load of stuff all at once that all doesn't help. Okay, let's see. Just catch up on chat. Give me your luck for shiny Shinx, please. Oh, I know. I'm so sorry. Yeah, Akira, yes. Yeah, gacha games. Yeah, gacha games is where it really is just like, no, but it's just always so funny. Like, again, with like gacha games and with shinies, when you have, it's so amazing how you can feel about like a particular character or Pokemon or whatever, where you're like, oh my gosh, yes, it's amazing kind of thing. But then like eventually, as like, particularly in gacha games, if they aren't like balanced well, and so then like, I don't know, more powerful characters become less powerful, and you know, stuff like that. You know, you can kind of get to a point where like a character you were once really excited about is actually not really that good. Or you can have something where you were really excited for a character, but then you didn't get them, and then you one day finally do get them, and you're like, yes, I finally got this character. But then they're like not really any good anymore or anything, and like that was like a thing that could suck as well. But yeah, but in this game it's just like, oh, shinies. I'm always excited to see them, but it's like, you know, please give me my, you know, I need like 3 Oddishes. So can I get, you know, and I need like 3 Oddishes and a Cottony. Can I get one of those, please? Because that would be absolutely wonderful. But it's out of my hands, and as such, I have to just play the game and see what appears. And I keep thinking those are shiny Alolan Executor, because that's what shiny Alolan Executor looks like. Like, that color, those like trees is like the color that shiny Alolan Executor is. It's pretty, to quote my friend Ryan Bartley, it's pretty wild. Okay, so, I should really attack these Sawsbucks. In case any of them are shiny, because they're a bit harder to tell the shiny for as well. Like, if I see a Alolan Executor, like, if I'm looking at, like, this group of 5 Alolan Executor, like, you will know the shiny. If I look at, like, a Deerling, and as long as I actually do look at it, and I don't just, like, go past it, like, I will know whether it's shiny. But with Sawsbuck, it's like, I think I know what kind of makes it shiny, but it's very similar. And if you're just meandering about in the wild, you're probably gonna miss it. It's pretty scary, pretty easy to miss. That's why Deerling is like so much nicer to hunt than Sawsbuck. Even though Deerling's like really easy to go past. Just like generally, if you're not looking, then yeah, you'd miss it. But if you are looking, if you do look at like every Deerling you see, it is easy to spot Deerling, because it's just the little flower on top is pink instead of yellow. I think like some of their other body parts are like slightly off-colored and stuff like that as well. But again, it's the flower thing you want to pay attention to. Like every Deerling you go past, just look at its head. If you go past a cluster of 5 of them, check that one of the flowers on the heads, like, that all the flowers on the heads match, that they're all yellow. Because if one of them isn't yellow, if you can't see, like, 5 blobs are yellow, then it might mean you have a shiny. Yeah, Fire Emblem Heroes, the power creep was insane on that game. Because it's just funny, like, you know, they originally had, like, you know, like, Marth and Roy and all these characters. But, like, the original Marth is essentially kind of like useless in like the modern game and stuff like that. I haven't played Heroes now for like 2 years, so forgive me if there's anything that so that's an Oddish and an Execute. Forgive me if you know, there is anything I say that's a bit like dated or whatever, but yeah, I played Fire Emblem Heroes every day, but I was sort of like, man, like, to keep up with this game, I really need to play it every day, and I just don't know if I can do that. I'm getting busier and stuff like that. And then I remember they had this one day where, like, just like servers weren't working or something. Like it was like an error rather than like you know, like a scheduled thing. And I couldn't log in for a day, and I realized like sort of like like I got a bunch of time back today, and you know it sort of just made me realize, wow, I really kind of like feel like I need to be on this game every day if I want to get the best out of it. And it's like, but that's just getting harder and harder. And I kind of had this like little glimpse of what my life would be like if I didn't play Fire Emblem. And I thought maybe it won't actually be too bad. Like, even though I do enjoy this game, to be able to get the most out of it, I want to be able to play it a certain way, and I can't play it that particular way. Like, I can't devote the amount of time to it that I like want to time to it. So it's not that I like, I don't know, hated it or didn't want to play it or anything, but it's just one of those things where there's so many different modes and so many different cool things to do, and I just couldn't do them all, and it's kind of hard to choose which ones you want to do and stuff like that. So so that's kind of how I ended up stopping. They had this sort of little, you know, day off kind of thing, and I had a day off, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna just try and go cold turkey, and then I did it, and then like here I am like 2 years later. But that's the thing, I'm so afraid of like a similar thing would happen with Genshin, where I start playing it and then but then like, you know, you just sort of like, well, I gotta beat this thing, and I gotta do this mode, and I gotta do this daily, and I gotta do these dailies, and I gotta do this weekly, and you know, and stuff like that. And I'm afraid, because it's like a flaw with me rather than like other games. The games have like loads of great content, but I kind of can't, I don't know how to decide which content to do and which not to do. I'm not always the best at that kind of thing, so yeah. But Fire Emblem did have like a crazy power creep, and it was just funny looking back at like a lot of original characters and how, you know, it's like, but like I remember basically like I had like an Ike with an axe, right? Ike has like this big two-handed sword called Ragnall, but like there was this version of him where he like wielded his father's axe instead. And it was like that Ike, and then like a sort of fallen Ike, like an Ike who had been like possessed by a baddie. Ooh. Like those two Ikes were like way stronger than, you know, the old classic Ike. And that wasn't even like a huge difference really. Like the old Ike still kind of had some uses or whatever in that time, but yeah, I just remember like all these units that came out that were like just so strong, and it's like sort of the original Marth would not be able to handle those units in like a million years. Like even if you buffed out the original Marth like to some kind of max level of buffness, he still wouldn't be able to take on all these other. So like yellow. Okay, they're all yellow. Oh, are you shiny? Nope, just plants around you. Come on, Cottony or Oddish. Leaves and green and sparkles and all that stuff. I know a couple of you guys did it, but we might need to have some more of it. So let me just check chat with a sec. Yeah, I was going to say, I just got like the newsletter. I still get like newsletters about it where there's like emblem Marth and you can now engage, which is really cool. But it's like sort of that probably is like another element of like power creep. So, Cliffo, hang on. You got a journal today to organize your Genshin play, and you're kind of a stationary nerd, and your Genshin journal is a fun way to use your pens and inks. That's awesome. I love that. I like having books to like write stuff in. And I like to write things down. And again, sorry to go back to like my book, which I talked about a week ago, and like mental health, which I've like not shut up about today. No, I have shut up about it today. So that's kind of unfair. So that's how you can tell I'm like perhaps not in the best sense of mental health, I guess, right now, maybe, that I'm being so hard on myself. But the point is like writing things out is good, and I like doing it, and I like making like spreadsheets for my games and like various things like that, like which character do I need to get, which stat do I need to boost, which this do I need to that, and like it's fun, it's cool. So I like that you have a book for Genshin. That's really cool. And if it helps you kind of like to maximize your fun with it, then that's even better. So, Lovecat Mew Mew has put lettuce and sparkling. I like that. That's quite fun. We are using the lettuce sandwich, so I'm just surprised we haven't got any shinies yet. Like, just again, doesn't matter whether it's like oddish or whatever. I mean, now I'm jinxing it because it's like, well, now we're gonna get like a bajillion other things in shiny form. But again, hoping for oddish. So next, hang on. So we'll just talk about next week's stream quickly. Shiny hunt. So what we'll do, right, next week, we'll try hunting for Skarmory with a steel type sandwich, right? Like this will be our plan. We'll try and hunt for Skarmory using the steel type sandwich. And then, if we get Skarmory, we can then aim for Diglett. We can go back to that cave and we can look for some Diglets. We can Diglett dig, trio. And then maybe we can like hunt for more Oddishes. But maybe we can use like a poison sandwich instead of a grass sandwich. Depending on how successful or not this is. Hey, we could get 3 Oddishes in the next 10 minutes. It's possible. It's unlikely, but it's possible. So let's see what we got here. So there is an Oddish, and then there are 2 Execute. But yeah, wow, I guess in 10 minutes I'm going down to McDonald's. Wild, to quote my friend Ryan Bartley. But yeah, and it's Ryan's birthday today. Woo! To mention that again. But yeah, and then sorry, I'm not sure if I quite finished talking about like my gaming plans for this year and stuff, because I just kind of, but I think you guys kind of got the gist. It's like I'm gonna play through. I've done Xenoblade 3 and Fire Emblem 3 Hopes now. I'm gonna move on to Persona 5 Royal, which I'm excited about, and then once that's done and once that's over, this year I'd really like to play Paper Mario HD, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door HD. I'd love to do Xenoblade 1 Definitive, and I would love to do Fire Emblem Engage DLC at some point. But we'll have to see how it goes, and because again, it kind of all depends on like when Paper Mario comes out, really. If Paper Mario is kind of like on the horizon, I wouldn't want to like start getting into Xenoblade, because Xenoblade takes a while. Like Xenoblade 1, to my recollection, is like the longest one, or at least I spent like it took me longer to beat Xenoblade 1 than it took me to beat Xenoblade 2 and Xenoblade 3. The longest one was Xenoblade X. That was the one that I spent the longest amount of time with. In fact, I saw a post about that the other day, I think, on like my Facebook memories, where I was like, I've beaten the story and spent this many hours playing it, but there's still so much I want to do and want to... Because it's like an open... Because Xenoblade X is an open world game, so even though there is like a story, you still want to keep playing even when the game is done. When the story is done, there's still plenty of gaming and fun to be had. And why are you not running? Run, my friend. There we go. So yeah. Skywatcher, thank you so much. I hope the shiny appears too, because it would be a pretty sucky end to the stream if we didn't get a shiny. You gotta get a shiny on the last sandwich hunt, but I also don't want to start another sandwich hunt, because I better go get that McDonald's, because all I've had today is that granola bar. The good news is my stomach does feel a bit more settled now, and the thing is, I think once I start eating my McDonald's, I will get pretty hungry and ravenous. I'm kind of wondering whether to... I'm kind of wondering and pondering whether I should boost up. I was going to do, like, medium fries with my reward, but I maybe might bump it up to, like, a large. I don't know, but that's like a lot of extra points, but then it means I don't have to worry about the points for a while. It's like I clearly don't use the points very much, so maybe I'll, like, treat myself to a, hang on, I see green. Oh, it's a dealing. Dang, so I saw 2 Oddishes and then like a bunch of green, but it was dealing, so that sucks. This is hard because of how long the grass is. But we gotta get at least 1 Oddish on stream, right? Again, we have to. Everything that I don't say get like off stream, I need to get like, you know, like if I say get a Smeargle off stream, I'm not gonna like hunt for one on stream, right? But like... But for everything else, we gotta get at least 1. Like, we don't necessarily need to get, like, 1 of every member of the Oddish family live on stream. But, like, it'd be cool to, you know, get at least one of everything that I've put in, like, the thumbnails, you know? Although, then again, I never got that Grookey. And then that means I also have to go for, like, Sobble and Score Bunny as well. So it's kind of like, oh, do I really want to go down that rabbit hole? Da-da-da-da-da-da. Score Bunny jokes. So, yeah. So we'll have to see. But yeah. So that's, anyway, so all those conversations, that's my gaming plan for the year. Paper Mario HD, Xenoblade 1 Definitive, because I do want to play that follow-up story. It's a shame I didn't get to play that follow-up story, like, before I played the Future Connected, the Xenoblade 3 DLC. It's a shame I didn't get to play the 1 DLC before the 3 DLC, but oh well. Yeah. It's like, there's not even like grass types here. It's just like a 2 cannon. Okay, there's like 2 dealing and an oddish. Oh, I just forgot I'm not playing Xenoblade, so I just clicked in the right stick to bring up the map, but that's not a thing in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Let's see what we've got here. Is the cat going nuts? Or is that just noise outside? If the cat's going nuts, that's very disappointing. How long do we have left? 5 minutes, chat. There's only 5 minutes left of this stream. What? Well, I'll just say now, thank you all so much for joining me today. It really does. And thank you for helping me get... I should have said this at the beginning as well. I do apologize. Thank you for helping me get to 2,500 subscribers. We've had a lot of new people, not just today, but in recent weeks. And I hope that those of you who are newer have enjoyed these. I do apologize because, again, I have been feeling a bit not myself for the past few weeks. And I don't really know how long that's going to last. But I hope I've still kind of been like entertaining and fun and friendly and nice and all the things that you come to a Bovio Games stream for. The thing is, like, does that Swordsbuck look different from every other Swordsbuck? I don't know. Whereas with dealing, I would know. But I think this is where we found the Meloetta, which is quite funny. I think this might be the spot where we found Meloetta. Oh, what did I bump into? What's in the tree? Don't tell me it's like a Slackoth. Oh, so a Swordsbuck in the... Okay, that's quite a good disguise. I will give you that, Swordsbuck. But yes. So, yeah. But yeah, with that Fire Emblem Engage DLC, though, it's funny, because when I was playing the game, I was really like, I think I could, like, beat this, like, in the classic mode, and I wouldn't, like, lose too many heroes or anything like that. But then, like, now that I, like, haven't played the game in ages, it's like, would I actually be able to... Hang on, that's a shot. I think this... Oh, no, hang on. I'm going to check these dealings, because the light is a bit weird. The light's all, like, yellowy. No, none of them are shiny. So I thought one of them might be shiny, but I don't think it is. Okay. Ugh, sorry. Again, you begin thinking about, like, ooh, I'm not anxious, and then thoughts creep in. Okay. Let's see. Right, come on. What we got? I can't... If we don't get a grass type shiny here, even just anything. I mean, I hope we get one of the ones we want, like, you know, Cottony or Oddish. But, like, if we don't get anything, that really sucks. And we'll just, I suppose, kind of, I suppose that will kind of sum up this very sort of middling shiny hunting stream, won't it? Like, this one's been pretty good, but, you know, we've certainly had better. We've had worse. But we haven't, but I would say we've had more better than worse. Which is kind of the thing. Like, we had that amazing 3 hours where we got 9 shinies. And it's like, we've been going 4 hours and got, like, 1. And that sucks. We want to do better than that, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, come on. It's just, it is hard to see these Oddishes in and amongst the grass. Like, hopefully I'm not missing any. but I could be missing any. That's a totally valid and realistic thing that could be happening here. How long do we have left? 1 minute 45. Gee, the stream is going to end in 2 minutes? That's unbelievable. Oh, no, no, no. No. No, that's the thing. You can go hours without shinies as well. I think the reason why this one perhaps just feels a little bit disappointing is we have actually had some genuinely good shiny hunts. Like, do you know what I mean? Like the drill bar. Like drill bar, I feel like we should have got. Like way more than we did, just by virtue of like how well they were spawning, you know. And then they just didn't, like, even though they're spawning loads, we just didn't actually, it took us 2 sandwiches to get our 2 shinies. So yeah. Right, no. But I think that's probably almost going to be it for today. I probably shouldn't have crossed this bridge, because that's probably a waste of like 10 seconds. And that's, hang on, that's a Chikorita. We don't want shiny Chikorita. No, we don't want shiny Chikorita, hang on. And we don't want shiny Dealing. And maybe there could have been a shiny in and amongst those, but I actually don't need another shiny Dealing. So let's go back this way and see if we can find anything. Whew. Come on, where are you? 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 Let's be having you. How long we got left? 19 seconds. Okay, gosh, this isn't good. No. So next week we'll do Skarmory, and then we'll, I don't know, maybe try and hunt for Cottony again or something. No, I think we kind of need to go for Oddish. Well, no, actually, no. We could go for Cottony with a Fairy Sandwich, and then we could go for Oddish with a Poison Sandwich. And although that might attract a load of Grimers, that's okay, because we'd probably see more Oddishes. In fact, actually, if we did a Poison Sandwich, I feel like maybe we might see more Oddishes, because I feel like we're seeing so many other Grass types by using the Grass type Sandwich, that maybe if we did a Poison type Sandwich, maybe a Poison type Sandwich actually could end up working quite well. So we'll have to see. So right, we'll count up our shinies and get screenshots of them, and then we'll call that it for today. So again, thank you all so much for joining me. I really super duper appreciate it. And again, we've had a bunch of new people. We got the 2,500 subscribers. We've had a bunch of new people recently come watch, and I've really hugely, I've been hugely grateful for that. So let's just heal up as well. And I'll just have a sip of water from this water bottle. There we go. And yeah. Okay. So, but I really do appreciate it, and I hope new people have been enjoying the streams, even though these have just been way more chill and everything else. So let's have a look at what we got here. So we got the Blitzel, the Dug Trio, and then the 2-Drober. Yeah, I guess that's right, isn't it? That is what we got today. I mean, I suppose I could double check down the line or whatever, but I think that is probably it. Yeah, we got the Blitzel, so I guess I can get another Blitzel off screen or off stream or whatever. Dug Trio was like a cool one, although it does put pressure on to find the Diglett instead. And then, and we'll evolve one of these Drobers. We'll evolve the level 71 because it's the higher level. So let's evolve this Drober. Let's finally, after missing out on that one on Pokemon Sword like 3 years ago or however long ago it was, 3 or 4 years ago, let's now go into our bag, get a rare candy, and at level 71, nice, evolve our Drober. There it is, and with a pinky. So I think we would have noticed one of those if one of them was running around with all the like pink and the blue and stuff. Horn Drill, I'm good. I don't think I realized that land Horn Drill. It can probably get Fissure as well, so that's quite funny that it can get all these like one-hit KO moves. Righty-ho. So hang on, let me just very quickly... Oh, hang on. I want screenshots. I want the screenshots, Beau. Screenshots. There we go. Finally got Excadrill after all these years. How funny is that? Okay. Thank you all so much. I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna Oh yeah, another thing as well actually is just because I've been gaming so much, you know, like with like Xenoblade and Fire Emblem and my other games and stuff like that. Because I've been like gaming so much, and because I've been filling so much time, so much of my free time with games. I've actually not been watching as much YouTube lately, but it means I have a bit of a backlog of like a YouTube playlist. Um, so if Miss Wannikins is still there as well, I'll maybe try and find that picture to tweet or something like that, or I'll try and retweet my picture or something. Anyway, sorry. Sorry, we're saving 50 bajillion times. There we go. But yeah, I've actually got a bit of a YouTube backlog, so I kind of want to catch up on like YouTube videos and stuff like that. Because that's the thing, when I get into Persona, I'm gonna fall into the exact same thing again. Because when I like do Pokemon shiny hunting, just like off screen and off stream, I'll like put on YouTube videos in the background, because like that it's perfect for that kind of thing. But when I'm playing a game like Xenoblade, I don't want to like have a video on in the background whilst I'm doing that. Like I want to listen to the voices and the story and stuff like that. So when I'm playing like a brand new game, for the first time and I'm not just like grinding for something like shinies or levels or whatever it is, I will sort of like forego the YouTube. But then it means I get like a YouTube backlog from how much I watch YouTube when I don't have a game going. So. But anyway, Bark, thank you all so much. I will be back next week, Saturday, the 10th of February, where we'll be hunting for more shinies. But we really are kind of getting towards the end of our list, really. Like, I mean, maybe we could really sort of grind them out and be like, okay, we're going to get like the 3 of every Oddish, and we're going to get like the 2 more Grookeys, and we're going to get the... But... as long as we say get like 1 of each, though, maybe that's the better place to leave it. We'll see how it goes. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care. Thank you all so much. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.